welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another broadcast here on the CranKy Ducklings. I'm of course your side VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushes as well. And welcome to something special, welcome to something unique. Welcome to the LATAM League quarterfinals. Los Latino Americans, they're coming out strong here, and we're jumping into our round of 8, our top 8 players of this tournament. Welcome one and all. Now, this is a tournament that has been running over the past couple of weeks. They've been going through their group stage. Unfortunately, we were offered to cast the groups, but if you know anything about the CranKy Ducklings, you'll know that over the past week we've been very busy and very engrossed in EWC. In the Esports World Cup, we were completely engrossed in non-stop qualifier after qualifier after qualifier, so we missed out. We missed out on the group stage. We missed out on the group stage of the Latino American StarCraft League, but now we are here at least for the playoffs, for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and grand finals thereafter. You can hear the beats. We are jumping into the round of 8. Exclamation mark be in the chat, and you can see our temporary Wikipedia page. Again, the page is being updated as we speak. Likewise, we also have, we'll go over the bracket after this series. We're jumping into our first series of the broadcast. Here we go, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Bolivian Zerg player, the veteran, the legend himself. It has been far too long since we featured him. Representing Unidos por el Vicio, it is DarkUnnamed. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Peruvian Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Mute. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PVZ. For those of you that are maybe newer viewers of the CranKy Ducklings and maybe haven't been watching since 2020 or 2019, you might not be familiar with some of our players here. Hold on, let me just quickly fix up our player in-game. I got you. Bam, beautiful. As we jump into our ZVP, DarkUnnamed, of course, he was at one point one of the best Zerg players in all of Latino America. Back in the day, you know, when EPT was first announced, and even coming into EPT, I'm talking 2019, 2020, 2021, that is when DarkUnnamed was in his prime, and he was up there along players like Jaime, like Jim Rising, like Eggs, El Huevito, like Ryu as well. DarkUnnamed, he was one of the best. And he did retire. DarkUnnamed, he did retire a couple of years ago. I want to say like maybe 2022. It's been like 3 years. So it's been a couple of years since DarkUnnamed has been retired. But if you've been tuning into the podcast, you'll know that we covered a new tournament recently that was hosted like maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, was the Bolivian StarCraft tournament. There was a tournament for Bolivian players, and we noticed DarkUnnamed was there. DarkUnnamed, he made his return. We were shocked to see him again. We were shocked to see a Bolivian tournament to begin with, and he had a ride for that. He actually won the entire thing as well, even beating Ryojin in the finals. So it's really cool to see the return of DarkUnnamed. Of course, many years later, I don't think he's full-time anymore. I don't believe he is full-time anymore. Not like he used to be back in the day. More so playing for fun, playing as a hobby more than anything. But he's back nonetheless. You're never really gone, Bob. You're never really gone. Shelby even made his return, of course. We'll get into Shelby later, potentially. But yeah, it's great to see the return of DarkUnnamed after many years. Infamously, DarkUnnamed has one of the longest names in StarCraft, and we used to use his name as a template when making thumbnails. Shout out to the LATAM StarCraft 2 League as well. So great to see him back, great to see him back, great to see him return. Now, how does an old veteran compare to one of the young blood up-and-comers? Mute, he is newer to the StarCraft 2 scene. Like, we would cover the Latin American StarCraft region quite often. Years ago, 2019, we were the official stream for Copa America. We covered Sentimiento Latino and Copa Hyperion throughout the course of 2020, 2021, 2022 as well. We were also covering EPT, LATAM. Mute, he rose up in more recent years. Mute, I want to say he hit the field like 2024. Like, he used to be a player many years ago, then he took a break, but he recently came back, I want to say last year. So Mute is a lot newer, a lot fresher, a lot more of a fresher face to the StarCraft 2 scene, to the StarCraft 2 community, at least in Latino America, and he has risen up the ranks very hard. He has devoted a lot of time. He has improved greatly. Mute, I'm sure you've seen him more regularly in tournaments, even in KSL, in Korean StarCraft League. Notably, Mute, he beat Classic. He forced Cure to the ace match. Like, Mute, I would say right now he's one of the few that is practicing quite a lot in Latin America, is improving quite a lot, and is probably the favorite player here, just because we're going to be featuring a lot of players that retired many years ago, and Mute is a more modern player. Until then, though, we are moving out. We do have our Oracle across the map in towards the main. Again, standard opener out of mute, going Stargate into a third base. Lings, they attempt to delay, but so far, this Adept is in a very nice position to raid very efficiently. Second Adept has arrived, and the Lings, oh, they do get wasted here. That was 5 Lings going down. They don't get any damage. At the same time, Oracle breaks in. DarkUnnamed does at least defend his main, and likewise will defend his third as well. Does defend his bases, will deflect mute. So far so good. Behind this, early Twilight Council gateway explosion on the way. Mute, this feels like Glaive Adepts. This does feel like a Glaive follow-up. Meanwhile, that is a 420 timing with the lair. So early lair out of DarkUnnamed, early Twilight Council out of mute, but a later Forge. The Forge tells us this most likely is not going to be Glaive Adepts. This most likely is going to be Blink instead. Oracles, they poke in. They don't get much done. 1 drone has gone down in total, but only 1 worker so far. DarkUnnamed, he is defending well. He is keeping up. He is defending well. He is going to be able to secure his bases. As we mentioned with the arrival of the Forge, tells us Blink. Yeah, Blink is on the way. Now, there's going to be a disparity. There's going to be a timing here in between Blink and the Forge, in between Blink and +1. And Mute, he can be more aggressive here as a result. So earlier Blink timing means earlier activity with those Stalkers, means he can apply pressure and potentially deny the 4th base. The 4th base specifically. So we'll see if we can get there. As we just see Mute dive into the mineral line, gets 2 more drones, 2 more workers do go down, not bad. Does take down 2 workers. Behind this, we spoke about the fast lair. There it is, fast overlord speed. Now, I would assume that this would be for an all-in. Like, you typically don't get overlord speed here at this level of play unless you're planning to go for drop alerts, right? Unless you're going for the German taxi. Otherwise, this is kind of a waste of resources. But because DarkUnnamed has been gone for so long, I don't know if he necessarily has that in his kind of tool set. I don't know if that's something that he's willing to do. I don't know if something that he's aware of. He might just be playing very safe, just very safe. But based on the Overlord kind of explosion, based on another Queen coming out, this should be for drop alerts, but we'll see. Yeah, Roach production has begun. Another Queen is coming out. This should be for an all-in. I'm assuming a 3-base all-in here out of DarkUnnamed. 4th base just for lava. There we go. Roaches are amassing. Going to be all or nothing. Back at home. Mute, what does he have to defend? So far, he has Stalkers. No Immortal production is working towards Storm, working towards Archons, working towards High Templar. That won't really help when it comes to the defense against the all-in. And we'll see how hard a DarkUnnamed can hit. We're waiting for the Jumbo Lords. Show us what you got. Stalkers are going for the 4th. We spoke about it. Might remember, early Blink means you can't deny the 4th base. And DarkUnnamed doesn't have enough. He does not have enough. The base is denied. Mute's moving in. That means less lava to work with. And DarkUnnamed, no Link production. Uh-oh. Yeah, no Links here. I mean, he's trading with the Stalkers, but nice Link control here out of Mute. He does not lose a single Stalker. And he's completely shutting this down. Stasis goes off as well. Ay, ay, ay. Stalker's getting low. He does go for the dive. A bold dive here out of Mute. Yeah, very bold. That was, what, 5 Stalkers now going down. Another Stasis does go off once again. But remember, DarkUnnamed, he should be all in. He should be all in. There it is. There are the Drop Lords. Okay, so we see Overlord speed. We were curious if it was going to be for Drop Lords. The answer is yes. The answer is it will be. And here we go. Is going for the all in. It's all or nothing for DarkUnnamed. And behind this, a Mute, he's throwing down cannon. Shield Batters, he has read this well. I mean, he already denied the 4th, right? He denied the 4th base. He knows his opponent is crippled. He knows that DarkUnnamed is hurting. Now it's all about defense. Here we go. Can we pull this off? I mean, if we can bait out the stasis traps, Storm is done. Yeah, Storm is done. That is brutal. Pushing into Storm is not going to be easy. Now, DarkUnnamed, dropping into the mineral line. Okay. Dropping in towards that natural. Queens, they do drop off. They shut down the Oracle. Oracle goes down. There go the Storms. Yeah, first juicy Storm here on the Ravagers. Likewise, oh god, the Storms. Oh god, the Storms are too good. The Storms are solid. At the same time, Lings, they drop in, but there's a cannon in position. Looks like the wall's going to be broken. Lings, they can't flood forward, but once again, more Storms. Yeah, the Storms are brutal. And with that, DarkUnnamed, he's running out of steam. He's running out of roaches. He does take every Storm to the face. Lings, they break through the cannon. They do start to kill workers, but there's an offensive warp in, and a Mute, he will defend. He will defend. He will shut this down. Takes down every single Queen, the roaches, the Ravagers, the everything. And with that DarkUnnamed, he is running out of steam. He's running out of army. Remember, he never expanded because his base was denied. No 4th base behind this, no economy, no base count, no production. And here comes the counterattack. Mute, he's moving out. And again, good read out of Mute after he had hit at that 4th to respond with his wall of cannons and shield batteries. Did respond well. And with that, Mute is going for the kill. At the same time, DarkUnnamed does hit that natural. It does hit the natural. Likewise, I mean, Mute, he could just commit. Like, he doesn't have to come back home. He doesn't have to come back. So Mute playing a say, there we go. I was waiting for the rest of the army of Mute. He's going to stabilize control, collapses on the queens, collapses on the roaches. Hydra's going to be trickling in, but again, Mute will clean this up. He will shut this down. And again, the all-in has failed. GG gets called, and Mute, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Mute will take a lead in the series. And again, we did mention earlier that Mute, he's currently favored in the tournament. Again, DarkUnnamed, it has been a while since he has been competitive, but I'm happy to see him here and seeing his initial build as well. It all comes together, it all makes sense. It's very modern as well. That's what I'm most curious by, is what is DarkUnnamed looking like after many years of retirement? And has he been keeping up with the meta? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. Let's go. I see someone asking in the chat, Dark Unretired. If you just tuned in, and if you are a little bit newer to the StarCraft scene, DarkUnnamed is a Bolivian Zerg player. He was active many years ago. We used to cast him back in 2019, 2020, 2021. He did retire around 2022, and he has been gone for many years. But again, he did come back recently to StarCraft. It's great to see him back. Great to see him back. Again, more as a hobbyist, less committed than he once was. He isn't like a full-time player anymore like he used to be many years ago. So I'm most curious, most excited to see how he is looking currently in StarCraft. What's his form looking like? How does he compare to someone like Mute? Let's go. As we are getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Peruvian Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports, leading the series 1-0. It is Mute. And spawning in the top right-hand corner. So in the top right corner here, we have the Bolivian Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Unidos por el Vicio. It is DarkUnnamed. Someone saying, I think this is supposed to be LATAM League. No, it's LATAM. LATAM is Latino America. Latino America. So LATAM is correct. Is the word to be used. Here we go. As we are settling in. And again, once again, great to see DarkUnnamed back. Great to see him back. So far, I mean, we did see DarkUnnamed attempt the all-in. Unfortunately, he barely wasn't ready for the aggression of Mute. And to be fair, it was more aggressive than a standard game. Winding it back, if you recall, Mute did go for earlier blink than usual, which meant that he could be aggressive faster as well. So DarkUnnamed, he just wasn't quite ready for the earlier blink timing, so he lost the 4th base. And losing that 4th base may not sound like a big deal, but it also means that your reinforcements, your Ling run by your Ling Flood is delayed because you have less lava to work with, especially because you are going to be dropping your queens across the map with the drop lords, right? Because you're loading the queens up into the German taxi, that means less injects as well. So less injects, that's why you need the 4th base for the larva. Didn't have the 4th base. So that also did slow down the all-in. That also did hinder the Zerg play. So there's a lot that came into play there. Behind this, we do have our standard opener, gate expand into cybercore, likewise hatch gas pool out of DarkUnnamed. Let's go. El mundo. Oh, sí, papi. Este Noam Chomsky. Oh no. Why are you coping? Not like this, Noam Chomsky, not like this. For now though, Stargate Opener. Once again, Stargate Opener out of Mute. A Stargate Opener into most likely Oracle. We'll keep an eye on Mute once again to see if he does go for another earlier blink timing. Likewise, we'll see if DarkUnnamed does mix it up. As a reminder, last game, DarkUnnamed, he went for a 420 layer timing. So he went for an earlier layer timing for earlier roach speed, and of course for the earlier overlord speed as well. So we'll see if he does go for another early tech timing in such a way. Go. And again, after the series, we'll be going over the entirety of the bracket. We'll be going over it. As this is the quarterfinals, round of 8. Round of 8. And today we only plan on hosting the round of 8. Next time, I believe in a week's time, we'll be hosting the semifinals and the grand finals as well. We'll get there. Until then, Mute claiming his third. Again, Oracle open into his third base. Mute, he chooses not to be aggressive with the Adepts, so that tells me that DarkUnnamed... Ooh, that is an early... Jesus. Last game was a 420 lair time. This is what, a 340 lair timing even earlier here, and the Oracle will see everything. So nice scouts. The Oracle does dip into the natural. Spore is a little bit too late. 3-4 Jordan's going to be going down, but that is an insanely fast lair. This should be for a Ling Queen Nidus all in. Yeah, there's a revelation. Mute, he notices. He's like, oh my god, that's crazy. So I'm leaning towards a Ling Queen Nidus all in. This could also be like a Ling Queen Drop a Lord all in. But I'm leaning towards Nidus just because there's no Overlord speed, right? There's no Overlord speed. Oh. 3 gases, I think that's still within parameters to afford a Nidus. No, 4 gases. 2 base Muta? This is for tech. If we're going up to 4 gases, this is either a Spire or a Hydrogen or Infestation Pit. There is a third option. It's a rare option, but that's also possible here to get into like Swarm Host, for example. And like Nidus Swarm Host. But yeah, this should not be for a Nidus Swarm. What do you have for us? There it is. We have the fast tech, not a Spire, not an Infestation Pit, Hydrogen. Okay, Hydrogen is on the way. Interesting. Now, oh, it's gonna get scattered. That's unfortunate. The Oracle dips in. The Oracle confirms the Hydrogen. So there was a little bit of ambiguity as to what was happening. And what I really love about the execution of DarkUnnamed, he'll lose 3 drones. But if there wasn't a scout, up until this moment, Mute, gases here between the 2 bases would have been 3. That would have screamed Nidus. But the 4th gas was hidden here intentionally at the 3rd base. So I love that DarkUnnamed hid his gases, and he did spread them out to make it harder to read. Unfortunately, the main got scattered, right? Unfortunately, the tech was seen, so didn't quite come to pass. Wasn't quite able to fake out an all-in. I mean, I say fake out an all-in. This should still be an all-in. This does look like a 3-base 6-6 drone, like Ling Hydra all-in, where you skip Eva chambers and skip upgrades. Solar is quite fond of this. Like Solar, he does this quite a lot, where he just skips Eva chambers and does nothing but Ling Hydra. And it does look like this is going to be the case here as well, where you just only fixate on the Hydra upgrades. Back at home, good read. A shield battery's on the way, at least at the 3rd base. We do have a shield battery here at the natural as well, but we don't have too big of a commitment to site defense, not yet. Bearing in mind that, again, DarkUnnamed, he does not plan on droning. Like, he has drone up and he's cutting workers at 50. I believe, I think there is a variation where Solar does this on like 54 drones, where he stays on 4 gases, and I think he goes up to 2 base mineral income and like half the saturation here at the 3rd, around 54. But here we go, it's all or nothing. Ling Hydra all in out of DarkUnnamed. Unfortunately, for the most part, it got scouted. Mute, I'm a little bit concerned by the lack of site defense. He's working towards Storm. He's set up at home, but it doesn't feel like he's really respecting this too much. And here we go, the army has arrived. Now he throws down the site defense, but it's late. Yeah, late cannons, late shield batteries. Yeah, Mute, he saw everything he needed to, but this is a bit of a later reaction. This is risky. This is gonna be close. It's gonna be clutch. As Hydras, they push in towards the natural. This is the advantage on Ultra Love. You can just ignore the 3rd. You have all this side defense, and DarkUnnamed doesn't have to push here. He just ignore it. He can't just ignore this 3rd. And go for the Cybercore. Ooh, oh god, the storm pops up. The storms are brutal here. And he is pushing into the natural. Probes are going down, but another brutal storm. We gotta get up the ramp. There we go, takes out the middle line. 19 probes go down. Cybercore as well. This is good damage, but he needs more. He needs more than this. As he's making his way into the main. Likewise, he has the high ground. Trying to buy some time. These Hydras, they will fall. And how many probes in the main? Now, there's a cannon. There's a cannon in the main base. Like, this is good damage. Don't get me wrong. Like, 25 probes is good. Sniping the Cybercore is good. But we need more. We do need more. Lings to go for the Archers pylon. Up the pylon. Oh, it's barely gonna go down. Just barely. Oh my god, never mind. Never mind. Goes down to 10 HP. The pylon survives. Everything stays powered. and Mute holds. Mute holds, and the concerning thing here is that Mute, he's building up more High Templar, more Storm, and getting into Charge. Remember, there's no Roaches, there's no Baneliness. Charge honestly can excel here. In this kind of game, say Zealots, we've seen them just mow through Ling Hydra easily. And I worry for DarkUnnamed. I do worry for him. Now, DarkUnnamed, he's still not joining. He's still massing up an army. I think best case scenario for DarkUnnamed is that Mute pushes and gets surrounded. I think if we can surround this army, then DarkUnnamed can still win this game and still kill this army as well and take it from there. Oh, but he's getting caught. He's getting caught out. Yeah, he's gonna lose everything. We spoke about it. Zealots do such a great job tanking, such a great job dishing out damage as well. Where the Storms are, yeah, the Storms are not coming in. Storms are a little bit late, but they will connect. Oof. Yeah, Storms on the Hydras, and these are expensive losses. DarkUnnamed cannot afford this. GG gets called, and Mute, he will survive the all-in. He will defend, and Mute will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Mute, he did scout. He did a great job scouting the 340 lair timing, scouting the fast hydrogen, confirming what was going on. It was a late reaction, and his reaction as well was throw down a wall of cannons and shield batteries at the third, not at the natural. So he took more damage than he needed to. Because of that, the game was a little bit closer. It was a lot more chaotic, but he still held nonetheless. And sure, he lost some mineral lines, sure, he lost some tech, but he could afford to. Right? His opponent was all in, Mute wasn't. Mute, he could afford those losses, and Mute, he snowballed from there. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Mute will claim the series. He will advance on into the semifinals, and we're here to find out who will face off against him. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the temporary Wikipedia page, as we are working on it, of course. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket, though. We can all catch up together. From the top, you can see here Mute takes down DarkUnnamed 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals or semifinales. Meanwhile, we do have our next set of players here. Again, today we're covering the entirety of the quarterfinals. We do have Tavito, we have Tavo versus Eon in a TVZ. Tavo from Peru, Eon from Costa Rica as well. Players that we have covered many times on the channel. Scrolling down, we have Sagan. Sagan is another player that did retire a long time ago. If you remember, back in 2021, I want to say, the era of Darkness. Not DarkUnnamed, but Darkness. For those who remember, Darkness, he was the best Protoss player in Chile, and I would say the best Protoss in all of Latin America. Straight up, he was the best Protoss in Latin America. I was a big Diego fan. Not Kelazar. I mean, I'm also a big Kelazar fan, but Diego, Darkness, like he still shows up every now and then. Fun fact, I think it was like last week he showed up in our chat. I was like, Diego. But I was a big Darkness fan. Again, he was the best Protoss player in all of Latin America. This is like, again, like back in 2021-ish era of StarCraft. He only returned for like a season, or maybe like less than a year, I want to say, and then he went back to his studies. I think he was in med school. So of course, you know, that's he has a lot going on and had a lot going on. I think he's since graduated and now working in the field, of course. Dr. Darkness, if you will. But yeah, Darkness, he was in med school at the time, and if you remember, the best players, the Chilean scene was thriving back then. The Chilean scene was thriving. It was huge. We hosted StarCraft 2 Rebirth, which had 200 signups. No, I think it was over 200 signups and 200 check-ins, specifically only from Chileans. Like Chile, like there was just so much support from Chile. And of course, Darkness, he was the best player from Chile at the time. Dastan, if you remember Dastan, he was actually playing this tournament. Dastan, who also is now a medical engineer. I think he works on like X-ray machines, and he works on just machinery in the medical field as well. But Dastan, he was also a Protoss player. And if you remember, Darkness and Dastan, they actually they adopted Sagan. Like Sagan, back then he was Masters. Like back then Sagan, he was like an up and comer. I think they were all on Alpha X. They were all on Alpha X together, like Darkness, Dastan, and Sagan as well. And Sagan, like he was you know, improving. He was leveling up as a player. Like he was getting into GM, getting into Grandmasters, and they had like taken Sagan under his wing. And of course, over time, you know, Darkness, he stepped away from the game, he retired, and Sagan as well. Sagan, he also retired, I want to say, like back in like 2022-ish era of StarCraft, like a couple of years ago. And it was sad because Sagan, like there was a lot of potential in Sagan, a lot of potential, especially as he was being like mentored by Dastan and Darkness as well. So it was a little bit sad to see. And again, Sagani kind of like stepped away from the game, but recently he came back. When I say recently, I think he joined LTK. I think he joined License to Kill. Either that or Team Gosu, one of the two. He joined one of the two teams. Just double check, but he joined one of the two teams, and Team Gosu. That's it. He joined Team Gosu. In my mind, that they're the same, but so my apologies. Did join Team Gosu, and he, I think nowadays he shows up like in their power rankings, like in some of their like in-house tournaments. But I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, he's playing again. I don't think he's playing as much as he used to. That's a story for a lot of these players, to be honest. I think basically I'm gonna say that for everyone except for Mute. Like Mute is the only one that like commits like really hard and devotes a lot of time. Everyone else, they used to back in the day, right? Everyone else, they used to be like a little more committed a couple of years ago instead, and used to like devote everything to StarCraft. Nowadays, less so. But yeah, Sagan was one of them as well. So, and he was more of an up-and-comer. So Sagan, in my mind, he's maybe the weakest of the group here in the quarterfinals. But to make it to the quarterfinals is a good showing. So, again, I haven't casted Sagan in years. We'll see what he's made of. You know what? I can double check. When was the last time I casted Sagan? I'm gonna check my YouTube channel, or our YouTube channel. Let's see. Sagan versus Pocket Mike 2020. I last casted him in 2020. So in my mind, he retired like in 2022. Maybe it was a little bit before that. that was the last time I casted Sagan. I mean, to be fair, he still continued to compete even though we didn't cast him as much. But yeah, he stepped away quite some time ago. Of course, Luciano, he is more of a modern player. Luciano is a player that rose up in recent times, not in the previous times. So I would say he's, yeah, more of a modern player nowadays. Kind of like Mute, to be honest, kind of like Mute. I want to say Luciano, he rose up in recent years as opposed to the others that peaked in years past. Meanwhile, we have Password, of course, an old school veteran of the scene as well, was also kind of an up-and-comer back in the day. And we have Draconics as well. And it's been great to see a lot of these players return. Like Draconics nowadays, he's doing some casting. Honestly, Draconics, I really enjoy his casting. Obviously, he casts in Spanish. But we tuned into, he's been casting some Team League matches with his team. He's been covering some Team League matches, and his casting is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very high paced. It reminds me of Rumsley. Like, for those who remember, like, I was a big Rumsley fan. Like, este Rums. I miss him dearly. Like, Rumsley nowadays, he I think he started like his own like beer company. I think. So he's no longer fully in StarCraft. I think he did some casting like maybe a year ago. Like, he came back like a year ago to do a little bit of casting for Finales Esports. But big Rumsley fan, and he used to be one of the pillars of the StarCraft scene back in the day. Was I talking about Rumsley? Oh yeah, because of the casting. So yeah, Draconics is doing a little bit of casting as of late, a little bit, but mainly streams. Mainly as a competitor, and he mainly just casts like, you know, his own matches, or I should say like his team's matches and Latin American matches in general. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting lineup here. Again, all these players we have a history with. They're all near and dear to our hearts. As always here, for those who are maybe newer viewers of the CranKy Ducklings, we started in Latino America. Of course, we started, I think some of our first pro StarCraft that we covered was Copa America. That was back in 2019. Like, before we casted like the Koreans on a regular basis or the Europeans on a regular basis, we started with the Oceanic region, so like the Australians and those from like Southeast Asia and Singapore and Vietnam. And of course the Latin American region with Copa America and with Sentimiento Latino as well, and Batallas Americas back in the day. For those that were here back then, you know. So yeah, it's great to see a lot of these players return. Some of them, again, some of them being some fresher faces at least. And up next we have Tavito versus Eon. Let's go. Vetoes were underway, and we now have our next series in the broadcast. There's just so much history. Like with all these players. Like it's so much to go. It's too much to go through. Tavito, of course, for those that remember, Tavo, our Peruvian Terran, he was almost a CranKy Duckling. He almost became a CranKy Duckling back in the day. So many years ago, when the EPT first started, and when we were covering some StarCraft tournaments, and back then we were the B stream. We were the B stream for a lot of EPT tournaments, for ESL Pro Tour Americas, ESL Pro Tour Latino America, and Oceania as well. And we were actually getting paid to do casting, to do that work. And because we were earning some extra income, more so than nowadays, because nowadays we aren't the B stream anymore. But back then, because we were earning some income, we did decide to start a pro team. We started a pro team, and we started an Oceanic division and a Latin American division. And I remember that we had limited funds. We signed on Eric, of course. We signed on Ryu, and we had enough for one more. And I was split between two players. I was split between two Terran players from Peru who are Song hermanos, baby. They're like brothers. They were tied at the hip, and I felt so bad only getting one of them. But it was Neo and Tavo. Like Tavo was the other option that I was tempted to go for. And in the end, we went for Neo, like Neo, who also played in this tournament in the group stage. In the end, we did go for Neo. In the end, barely enough for Tavo. But you know, in my mind, or Elio, he was always like an honorary CranKy Duckling, and it's a good friend. It's a good friend. Also does drop in from time to time in the chat. But here we go. We're getting into our next series, into our first best of 3. Oh my god, pull first. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Leylines, we have the Costa Rican Zerg player. We have the purple Zerg representing Team License to Kill, LTK. It is Eon. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Peruvian Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Exeritus Esports. It is Tavo. Let us go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim this series. Will it go the way of the Terran or the way of the Zerg? Oh boy, up to you to decide. Now, both these players have been practicing a lot for this tournament. They've both been streaming a lot as well, and coming into this, Eon, in my mind, is a little more cheesy. We saw him go pool first, for example. But Eon, he's a lot more cheesy, he's a lot more aggressive. He does a lot of all-ins. Expect a lot of all-ins and maybe less so standard play out of Eon. Tavo is more standard. He is more standard. He's typically a bio player, but he can play mech. So bear that in mind. He can make it up, especially in TVT. So if we feature Tavito in a TVT at some point, so that's what I'm going to be leaning towards, is playing mech here against Zerg. He does like to mix it in every now and then, but for the most part is a bio player, and we'll see how they compare. I want to say if we get into a longer standard mid game, I want to favor Tavito, but when it comes to the early mid game, then that is where Eon can thrive, depending on what he goes for. Again, late expansion, earlier Lings, and you can see Lings, they do move out across the map. Tavo with the SCV Scout, he confirms how late the hatchery is. He is on patrol, he's here back at home, and he will clean this up, but not without losing his SCV. Yeah, the SCV does get sniped. Bit of an overreaction here. A lot of boys are being pulled, and yes, this will be cleaned up, but this was a little bit unnecessary. So yeah, Tavo, he does overreact. He will shut this down, but that was a good amount of damage. Remember, Eon, he killed one SCV, he denied some mining time, and of course he did delay the expansion as well. So Eon, he got more damage than he was really looking for. So nicely done. Does get some damage. At the same time, the Reaper does now move out across the map. Queen is in position, and Eon should hold. Eon, he should hold. As Eon from here, he will claim his third. Behind this, Tavito going for his third CC before Starport. Economic opener here out of Tavo. So standard build, standard setup. Again, did take some extra losses just because he did overreact to the Lings. I also wanted to say that I don't blame Tavo for overreacting, just because I mean, we said it ourselves, and Tavo, he would echo that. Eon is typically a cheesy player, so for all Tavo knew, maybe there were more Lings, right? Maybe there was a bigger commitment to Zerglings early on. These two, I'm sure they play quite often on the ladder, so that's where mind games come into play as well, where they are more familiar with each other. As we go for the add-on swap into Cloak Banshee. So Banshees are on the way. Behind this early Roach Warren out of Eon, hidden behind the main base. Again, we mentioned earlier, like Eon, he's usually a little more aggressive, a little more unorthodox, and we do expect Eon to thrive in the early to mid game. So this does look like an early Roach bush. So far unscouted. Now, Tavo going into Banshee play, now no cloak. No cloak, bear that in mind, but he doesn't really need cloak here if he's playing this defensively. Banshees are ideal against early Roach bushes, as again, Roaches don't shoot up. But Eon is not droning. 8 Roaches on the way. From here, he has to make a choice. He can still drone. He can still drone up, or he could double down. Oh, he's supply blocked! Brutal supply block here for Eon. 3 overlords are on the way. Now is not the time. Again, he was supposed to be flooding Lings behind this. 4 overlords in production. Oof. Roaches have arrived. Now what do we do? Drone or Ling? What's it gonna be? Now morphing in Ravagers, just making use of how delayed the push is going to be. Lings, they come in for a surround, and they don't quite get the Hellion. Not quite. Oh! There we go. 1 Hellion goes down, the Reaper as well. And what's important here, the scout is denied. Like Tavo, he was about to scout, is not confirmed. There we go. Eon, he's all in. He's all in. Ling, Ravager all in out of Eon. The Lings are thrown away. They're going to be cleaned up, but again, they deny the scouts. Tavo still has no idea what's going on. Tavo has not seen this, not confirmed. We have Raxes on the way, add-on swaps as well. No bunker, no defensive setup, no wall. That's a lot of Ravagers, and he's going in. He's getting ready for the dive. We have 20 more Lings behind this. The wall is going to be broken. As he's breaking through the depots. Yeah, depots are brought down. The boys are evacuated. The Banshees, they do respond, but again, this is a late response. The Banshees could have been getting free damage the entire time if Eon had if Tavo had known, but he didn't know. He didn't know. The pants are down, and Eon, he's going in. He's going into the main. The boys are being pulled, and there is no army. But, ooh, they snipe one of the Banshees. Banshee goes down as well. Tank has arrived. Ooh, and with this surround, Tavo, he will clean this up. But no, the Banshee. Oh my god, another Banshee goes down. And this is critical damage. This is game-ending damage. Nice hold position Michael with the SCVs. They're buying more time than they should. But the Lings, they flood in nonetheless. They get on top of the tank. And alas, Tavito, he just does not have enough here. 47 workers going down. GG gets called. And Eon, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Eon, he will take a lead in the series. And again, Eon, we expect this from him. We did emphasize at the start of the series, Eon is very cheesy, very aggressive as a player. Tavo, unfortunately, he was going to scout, but the Lings did deflect the Hellions, and he failed to scout. He failed to get a read what was going on. He wasn't able to confirm the all-in. He wasn't able to confirm the aggression, and with that, he was caught with his pants down. Alas, if he had spotted it, the Banshees, again, free damage on the Ravagers, we would have seen a full wall off as well, bunker in the natural, bunker in the main base, getting ready to fall back. Alas, Tavo, he had no reaction because he had no scout. He was in the dark. He was caught with his pants, the pants were down. GG. GG, well played with that. Eon does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if he can claim the series or if Tavo can recover. Again, if we can get into the mid game, if we can get into a standard game, I favor Tavo, 100%. I favor Tavo. Like, I do think that he's a stronger player, but only if we can get there. And again, Eon is going to do everything he can to stop him from getting there. Let's go. Let us go. So we expect to see some more aggression. Now, I don't expect to see the same build multiple times in a row, right? So we had a Ravager Ling all in here in game 1. I expect something different coming into game 2. We'll see. We'll see. And yo, shout out to MattyEyes239 in the chat. Baby God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you enjoy the casting. I hope you enjoy the StarCraft. And thank you. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. We appreciate it, Pappy. And here we go. I hope you enjoy the emotes as well. Do you have our emotes? We do provide replay packs to our subscribers as well. And here we go. This morning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Peruvian Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Exeritus Esports. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Tavo. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. We have the Costa Rican Zerg representing team licensed to kill LTK. It is Eon. Leading the series 1-0. Here we go. So we are going to be settling in. And again, our eyes are mainly going to be on Eon. This time, hatch first. Remember, last game, it was a pool first opener. This time, hatch first out of Eon. Tavo, he will have to SCV scout to confirm the timing of the hatchery. And welcome to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is a smaller map. Shorter rushes by ground compared to Leyline, so aggression is more favored on Ultra Love, more so than on the previous map. So we could see some more roach aggression. We could see like a Ling Bane bust, Ling Bane all in, Nida space play as well. There are options here for Eon. 2-base Muta also on the table as well. I'm not too fond of it here on Ultra Love, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what Eon goes for. Until then, Tavo does go for the Rax Expand, Economic or Standard Opener. Just Standard Opener here out of Tavo. SCV scatter across the map. And this will let him know it is safe to move out with the Reaper. This will let him know. Does dip in. And from here, he can now move out. The Reaper does zoom across the map. Hello, Seagrail. Hello, hello. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Hope you're doing well. Having a good week. Oh. As Reaper breaks in. Reaper does break in. Oh. Will threaten the mineral line. The dance has begun. It takes out one Zergling. Not bad. One Zergling goes down. And he shouldn't get a drone. There we go. The queen has arrived. And Eon will hold. Meanwhile, Tavito, he does confirm the third base. Confirms the third. Third CC on the way for Tavo. So once again, third CC for Starport. Once again, standard opener out of Tavo. Like, when it comes to the last game, I can't really fault his build by any means, but it just came down to his scatting, to be honest. That's all it is. And it's something that you have to be on top of, especially against a player like Eon. Like again, he has a reputation of being aggressive, so it's on Tavo to scan or to dive with Reapers, to dive with Hellions. Already here, 14 Lings on the way. That's a lot of Zerglings. And the goal here for Eon should be to catch out the Reaper and to get across the map. Speaking of, Reaper is going to be shut down. Limited scouting. Again, the Link Flood was hidden. Eon is moving out. Now, behind this, he's droning. This is not all in, but the goal here is to move in as the Hellions move out. So it's on Eon. He does have vision of the ramp, and he's waiting. He's waiting for the Hellions to push, or actually, he might just go in. Okay, never mind. He's just going in. The Hellions are at home to defend. And that means that this isn't going to get as much damage, or at least it shouldn't. Yeah, Lings, they go for the dive. Hellions, they kite well. Boys are being pulled. And so far with this, Tavo, he should defend. But how many SCVs is he going to lose? So far, 4 SCVs. Yeah, 4 SCVs do go down. Losing up to 6. Losing up to 7. Not bad. 7 workers for 14 Lings. I would say that is a worthwhile trade here for Eon. Nice damage early on. Behind this, going into Banshee play. Now, Tavo, he will recuperate those losses as he does have a 3rd command center. But he will need a little bit of time. He will need some time here to recover. Meanwhile, ooh, the lair is almost done. This is what, a 4-minute lair? 350-ish? Jesus. So early lair timing out of Eon. Very early. What's the plan? Gases are being taken. Are we actually going 2-base Muta? I joked earlier about it. And again, I stand by what I said, that I'm not too fond of 2-base Muta, specifically on Ultra Love, but we'll see. Double Evo Chamber. Never mind. Double Evo Chamber, this tells us this is going to be a little bit more committed into, I would imagine, roaches. But we have no tech. Spire or Roach Warren, what's it going to be? If it was going to be roaches, we would have seen it by now. 100%. We would have seen the Roach Warren, so this should be for Muta play. Otherwise, rush into Lurker. Sorry, rush into Ultra. Okay, so we're rushing into the Infestation Pit, so this is going to be 1-1 upgrades, sorry, +1 carapace, +1 melee into Ultra Tech. Now, this is a little bit old school. These used to be a little bit more common back, oh god, what was the map called? Ancient Cistern, that's it. That was maybe 2 years ago? Was that 3 years ago? No shot. At least 2 years ago, but Ancient Cistern, it's a relatively modern map. From a couple of years ago, but we saw Dark used to be very fond of this build on Ancient Cistern, but to pull this off, you need map control. Like you need a lot of Ling Bane to contain the Terran, to keep them pinned at home on 2 and then 3 bases, and then you can get away with rushing into Hive and rushing into Ultras. Hive is on the way, Infestor as well. We are working towards Ultra Tech. We'll see if Tavo can punish. Now, I said that like you need a lot of Lings to like gain control and to contain your opponents. Because of the earlier Ling Flood, I mean, Tavo is stuck at home. Like Tavo, he's playing really scared. Like these Hellions should be active, but they're not. Like Tavo is playing very scared. He does see gases at the 3rd. Here's a sign. Is a tell that's a lot more gas intensive than just Ling Bane? Which is true. Tavo, he might assume this is for fast Hydras. He might assume Muta. Yeah, And again, it is on Tavo to confirm. And now the Hellions are moving out. But again, this is a late move out of Tavo. Banshees. Now, going into the main base is going to be a big moment for Tavo as well, as he does roast up some of those Zerglings. There we go. Ultra Cavern's on the way alongside the Spire. Again, this is just so greedy. And we have the Scouts. He confirms. He does see the Hive. Yeah, the Hive is spotted. And how do you respond here as Tavo? Like, at this point, it's not too late to punish. I will say that. It's not too late. Yes, there is all this tech, but like Eon doesn't really have the money for Ultras right now. But Eon does have Infestors, so it's going to make it difficult to be aggressive. But I do think that Tavo has to try to punish this and at least break the fourth. It's not going to be easy though. Tavo, he is making, what, 8 Marines at a time. He's got his 5-rack setup. Overlord is hunted down, and again, he should be pushing here with 1-1. I just worry that because the Infestors, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the Fungals. If the Fungals connect, then Eon will hold. If they don't, then Tavo will break through. This does delay. This will delay Tavo. Now he's pushing. Ultra production has begun. The army should have already been across the map. It should have already been across. This fourth base should already be under fire. And again, Tavo, he needs that fourth. But there are 5 Ultras. Remember, 0 Banelings, by the way. This is not Ling Bane, this is Ling Ultra. Like, all the gas is being spent on Ultras and Infestors. That's how greedy this is. And that's why Eon was so vulnerable up until this moment. But now he's here. Now we have 6 Ultras. That was moving in. Here come the Fungals. Ooh. So far, good positioning. The Hellbats have a lot of work to do. We see Eon trying to come in for a surround. And the Infestors are targeted down. Ooh, no Fungals. Yeah, nice target firing out of Tavo. He'll focus on the Lings. Tanks go down, and he cannot bring down the Ultras. Not like this. Force to pick up. But honestly, this was a very efficient fight. Very efficient trade here for Tavo. He fought well. It's just the Ultras. Like again, his Marines tickle Ultras. He needs Liberators, tanks, Marauders. From here, he will boost away. Like you can see, he killed 118 Lings. And he lost 8 Marines. He lost the tanks, but like again, like efficiency-wise, very efficient out of Tavo. But now here come the Ultras, and Tavo, unfortunately, is not quite ready for this. Yeah, the Marines, they just melt to the Ultras. They have to go. Oh god, they have to kite away. The swipes are brutal. Oh my god, yeah, one swipe of the Marines, they just crumble. Oh god, the Ultras are here. They just want hugs. They shut down the bio. They break through the expansion. And Eon, he did get away with it. He did get away with it. A big part of this was the Ling Rumbai at the start of the game. The Ling Rumbai did so much damage. It delayed the Tavo for so much. Again, if Tavo had pushed even 30 seconds sooner, this base would have been broken. But with that, Ultras, they bust into the natural as well. And Eon, it looks like he will claim this. He will claim this series. As he takes out the mineral line, the third base is non-existent. The natural is forced to lift, and a GG. Eon, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, Eon. He will claim the series. GG, well played. Again, Tavo, unfortunately, he was playing so scared after the first Ling Rumbai, so he was not active on the map. He could not punish Eon. He had the forces to do so, but he was deterred. He was stuck at home. Again, the Ling Rumbai did do a lot of damage as well, which did slow him down. And Eon, he barely got away with it. We saw that Tavo, he was out trading him. Like, again, Tavo had some really good target firing on the Infestors, and he kited really well, and he shut down the Lings very efficiently. Like, Tavo, he was out trading, he was out playing, but it was all too late. The reality is that he just took a little bit too long to move out and to break the bases, because by the time he did, Ultras were popping out. And there was no answer to those Ultras. So in the end, GG well played. In the end, Tavo, he will claim this. Sorry, Eon, he will claim the series. Tavo is out of the tournament. And with that, we are halfway through the quarterfinals. We're halfway through here. Once again, let's catch up on our brackets. Let's go. Ooh, okay, so from the top, we're halfway through. We already have our upper semifinals ready here. Mute takes down DarkUnnamed 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. Likewise, Eon takes down Davito 2-0 as well. So we have Mute versus Eon in the upper semifinals. They are going to be facing off in that PVZ, most likely next week. Either next week or the week after. Again, we don't have the dates confirmed for the semis and the finals, but alas, the quarterfinals are going to be held until then. So the players, they can now get some rest, they can now get ready for their opponents, they have some time to prepare some builds. Meanwhile, we have the second half of the broadcast. Up next, we have some Chile on Chile action. We have Sagan versus Luciano. Let's go. Let us go. And this is going to be an interesting kind of clash of generations. I mentioned earlier that Sagan, he was more active many years ago, back in 2019, 2020, 2021. That is when Sagan was the young up-and-comer, you know, the young blood on the scene who was taken in by Dastan, who was taken in by Darkness, and kind of was like, you know, under their tutelage, if you will, and improving as a player. But again, that was what, like 4 years ago. that was quite some time ago. And of course, he retired. He stepped away. Meanwhile, Luciano, as I mentioned before, he's more of a modern player. He's a player that rose up in recent years, in recent times. Back when Sagan was on the rise, Luciano was not around. He was not competing. He was not a part of the scene. So Luciano, he's a little bit of a younger, fresher face. Because of that, they kind of miss each other in a way. And he's also been a lot more active in recent years as well. So because of that, I want to lean towards Luciano when it comes to who I favor in this series. But at the same time, I also know that Sagan has been playing over the past, I want to say, maybe 10 months. But Sagan, he has been playing, he just hasn't really been competing in tournaments. Like Sagan, he hasn't been playing like in open tournaments or even in regional tournaments as well. Like Sagan, he's only been playing like in in-house tournaments instead. So I've only been seeing his progress from afar. I haven't casted, I just looked it up. The last time I casted Sagan was in 2020. 2020. That was 5 years ago. So I haven't casted Sagan in a long time. So I don't know where to place him skill-wise. So like my gut reaction here is I want to lean towards Luciano, but at the same time, like I also understand that I don't really know what Sagan is looking like. So let's go. Let's find out. Let's find out together. Oh, there we go. Sorry, disappeared for a moment. Well, let us find out together here. As are we good? Hold on. Yeah, we good. My camera was broken for a moment. But let's go. Let's find out together here as we're stepping into our next series, into our next quarterfinals match, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Chilean Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is Luciano, a good friend of the stream. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the Chilean Protoss representing Team Gosu. It is Sagan. Ultras have kindness plating, but Marines have a kindness play. Ah, so good. Let's go. Let's go. But yes, so I do apologize. My camera did mess up a little bit, but we're good. We're back. But here we go. Also, if you're in the chats, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we are jumping on in. Let's go. Let us go. As again, I have not seen Sagan play in many years, so show us what you got. I'm here for the Sagan. And for Luciano. Now, when it comes to Luciano's play, double gas opener, Luciano, specifically in TVP, is very aggressive. Like, we've seen Luciano do some crazy stuff, like going one base BC and like proxy factory, proxy tank. Like, Luciano, he's an animal in this matchup. Like, like he's done some crazy builds in recent times. So this is aggressive, a little bit more tame here, and we'll see where he takes us as we go for the factory in the main. We're going for a delayed command center, of course, a more tech-heavy start from Luciano. Is going to be more tech-heavy. Meanwhile, across the map, standard opener so far, Sagan. Now, if I remember correctly, I have to like dig into the recesses of my mind here when it comes to Sagan's play. The Sun and Darkness, they were pretty standard. Like the Sun and Darkness, they were pretty standard macro players back in the day, and that's kind of like what they were teaching Sagan as well. That's kind of what they were bringing him in. I want to say that Sagan, he would cheese in PvP. That's the case with all Protoss players though. I don't think he was too aggressive in this matchup though. But again, it's been 5 years. A lot can change in 5 years. So let's find out. Twilight Council. So far, Twilight Council open out to Sagan. Here we go. And do you see what I see? Oh, okay. Third CC, sorry, CC in the main base going for the starport. So Luciano, he is going to be expanding. It's a delayed expansion, but an expansion nonetheless. And from here is going to a very early tech lab. So Hellion straight into tech lab. This can lead into early Cyclone, into a Cyclone drop. This can lead into an early tank, into a tank drop. This can lead into an add-on swap, into Banshee play. Show us what you got. Do we go for the medevac? Do we go for the swap? We're going for the swap. Let's go. Oh my god. Jesus. So Hellion tech lab into add-on swap into very fast Banshee, but oh, the scout comes in. Sagan, he sees everything. Now again, this doesn't immediately tell you it's going to be fast Banshee. Technically this could be Raven, but you would never rush into a Raven like this, right? You would never just speed run into a Raven this quickly. So this screams Banshee. There's no reason for there to be a tech lab on this starport unless the Banshee is on the way. So Sagan, for the most part, he should be aware. Behind this should be playing safe. Gateways are on the way. He has a 3-gate setup. Meanwhile, Luciano does poke into the mineral line. Oh, gets 2 probes. Takes down 2 workers. And doesn't get the 3rd. With that, Sagan will hold. Sagan, he will hold, he will defend. Again, playing very safe, you know, 3-gate blink, very safe setup here from our Protoss player. From here, we can take gases, we can go for Robo. This tells me that the 3rd base is going to be a little bit later for Sagan, but against Luciano, I think this is okay. I think playing safe is the go-to against Luciano. Meanwhile, Proxy Gateway. Jesus, Proxy Gateway here on the map. So it's not going to be 3-gate blink, it's going to be 4-gate blink Stalker. Ooh, so aggression versus aggression. Meanwhile, the Banshee does move out. Banshee may even find the proxy. Okay, the proxy has been found. Very fortunate here for Luciano. Very 3rd CC. Oh, he's rushing to a 3rd. Into mech. What? That, you know, I was expecting some crazy chaos and aggression out of Luciano. I was not expecting this. I mean, god damn it. I mean, you know, we see mech in pro play in TVP, right? I'm referring to Ryung and Gumiho, right? They do mech against Protoss at the highest level of play, but it's still a rare sight nonetheless. There's not many Terrans that are willing to play mech, but we are meching it up. Okay, let's go. God damn it, Luciano. God damn it. We love him. We love him. As the Banshee is intercepted, the Banshee is hunted down. A very nice pick up here from Sagan. Meanwhile, bearing in mind, he does have a 4-gate blink setup, but he takes a 3rd. He takes another expansion, takes another base. Sagan, he did not scout the timing of the 3rd base. Again, very greedy, very economic here by Luciano. Into a very tech-heavy style, of course, with mech, which also hasn't been confirmed. So, I'm curious what is going through Sagan's mind. Now, again, I would imagine these players are relatively familiar with each other when it comes to the ladder. And there we go. He does confirm. Observer goes in, sees 2 factories. There's no reason for 2 factories to be here, so he does confirm mech charge already on the way. Base on the way for Colossus production. If you're curious, what is the best answer to mech? It is going to be a gateway composition of Blink Stalker charge lot alongside Immortals and Archons. Colossus aren't typically ideal here. So gateway like Robo double expand. Gee, he's rushing into a 4th. This is very greedy, and this is gonna work. Okay, there's a lot to get into here. There's a lot to talk about. First things first, mech is a rare side in this matchup, but usually when we see mech, there are 2 different builds that we see. One, battle mech. You rush into Macro Accelerators, you rush into Mass Cyclone, and mate, Mass Cyclone can dominate Blink Stalkers and dominate the map, I should say. But there's no battle mech here. It's Mass Tank. It's Tank Hellion. This is a very slow form of mech. This is like the turtle style of mech instead. So against this form of mech, what's ideal? Mass expand. Like Sagan responding really well to this, just mass expanding and reading this well that there are no cyclones. If he was up against mass cyclones, Sagan would be in trouble. Like Sagan would have a very hard time defending. But because we're turtling up and we're slowing down and we're fortifying our bases and we're going for a slower approach, then Sagan, this is the correct response. Speaking of correct, Zealous, they catch a free tank. Yeah, one tank goes down. They get into the middle lane. There are turrets to defend, but there's no tank in position. There's no wall either. Getting 3 SCV kills. Catching out the Hellion. 2 Hellions go down. At the same time, warp in into the main. The warp in does complete. At the same time, Stalkers in towards the left-hand side as well. And the Stalkers are going to be cleaned up, but this is still critical damage. And again, it takes so much to deal with Zealots of all things. Like, tanks, they're not built to fight Zealots. Not like this. 13 SCVs. 13 SCV kills. Did I say 13? 17 to 9 to 20. Oh my god. 21. 22. Can we get 24? Not quite. 23. 23 SCV kills. A brutal damage. And despite Luciano turtling up, he's torn apart. He's torn apart. He scans. He sees the 4th base fully saturated. Sagan was so greedy. And I have to assume that they played on the ladder. Like, Sagan, to scout this setup, I mean, he did see the early tanks, but to react like this tells me they've played before. Or this tells me that Sagan has played against this style of mech before. Like, this feels like a rehearsed response here. This is not off the fly. This is not off the cuff. He knows what he's doing against the mech. He's been mech'd before. He's been Luciano'd in the past. Sagan even going for the Stargate. This is for Sky Toss. That'll be the ideal. Ooh, as the Prism goes down. Prism goes down to the turrets and to the Vikings. So nice defense here from Luciano. At the same time, Heli Mame gets attempted. Getting some probes. Probes are going down. Aggressive on the economy or aggressive on the tech. Like, this is it's crazy. Ay. He's crazy. As Archons are going to be walking in. They're walking into the bases. They're going to break the tank line. Again, the tanks they're all at the 3rd. They're not here at the natural, and Archons just walk in. They just walk into the mineral line. Ay. They start a step forward. They take down the Vikings. They fight under the Liberation Zone, so they're going to be cleaned up. That one Liberator just popping up. But Sagan's not slowing down. You can see Sagan, he responds, he reacts, he's getting another expansion, getting a 5th base. GG gets called, and Sagan takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Crazy game here between our 2 players. And again, I was pinning Luciano as a more aggressive player. 100% I stand by that. And more unorthodox, clearly, as well, rushing into mech in such a way. But as I mentioned, it does look like Sagan is practiced against Luciano. Looks like he's familiar with him because he was so quick to expand, to respond, to gain map control, to harass with Zealots, to drop into the main base, to go with his Wing Stalkers. Like, it was a really solid response there by Sagan. And as I was saying, it was risky if Luciano was going into battle mech. But because it was going into mass tank, like, that was the ideal. So really solid setup there from Sagan, a really nice response. And with that, GG well played. Sagan does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Luciano can recover and bounce back. Now, after game 1, I don't expect to see mech again. Right? I don't expect to see it again. I expect something different here. We'll see. Our eyes are on Luciano. Here we go. I can't believe the Archons didn't win there. That's like the Ultra Viking video, but the Viking wins somehow. Once again, to reiterate, that was less so the Vikings doing damage. That was that one Liberator. Remember, the Archons, they fought underneath the Freedom Zone, and they got liberated. Like, that one Liberator had 6 kills. Like, that one Liberator, I'm pretty sure, killed every single Archon. Like, all the Vikings were doing, they were just zoning, or I should say, they were a wall, and they were just keeping the Archons in the Liberation Zone. That's basically what happened there. That was crazy. But here we go as we are getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the Chilean Terran player. We have the red Terran down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back, we'll see if he can recover and force the ace match. After a crazy game 1, it is Luciano. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the the Chilean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Gosu. It is a Sagan. Here we go. Okay, as we load into Pylon, Pylon is likewise a smaller map of the map. Smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground, but we'll see if Luciano is as assertive this time when it comes to his early gases. As a reminder, last game, what did we see? We saw a double gas opener into a faster factory, into a tech lab, into a faster add-on swap, into fast Banshee play, and Sagan shut it down. Sagan, he shut down the Banshees real fast and real quick. This time, economic opener. One gas. One gas, so that means it ranks into a CC, so a faster command center. You can see Sagan being so annoying, and it looks like he'll force a CC on the high ground instead. So we'll see if Luciano does go for the high ground CC. And from here, we'll see if we go into a standard game, which I don't really expect out of Luciano. As there we go, high ground command center here from our Terran player. Sagan back at home should be going for a standard start, and we'll see if Luciano, now just because the opener is standard doesn't mean the game is going to be standard. You can still go for 2 base all-ins from here. Like, you can still go into a second Rax, a third Rax, you can still delay your starport and pull the boys. Again, this is a good map to go all in, but we'll keep an eye on Luciano. Now, I'm expecting anything but standard play, but we'll see. Yo, shout out to the LATAM StarCraft 2 League. You can see there, South America and Central America. Latino America, baby. Latino America. Do love to see it. Also, that is a very fancy Terran logo. That's not the standard eagle that you get for Terran. Nice. Fancy. But a shout out, of course, to Crown for organizing, for adminning the events, for Enki, of course, for helping out when it comes to organizing, and for Infernales Esports for sponsoring the event as well. Big shout out for the LATAM League. As we do have our Twilight counter open out of Sagan. Meanwhile, looking at the production here from Luciano, what do we have? So far, we have the factory reactor on set factory, add-ons up for reactor to Hellion. This can be for Hellion Reaper aggression into drop play. So this is going to be an aggressive start. Ooh. Into an add-on swap. Okay. So he's going to be stopping at 4. So 4 Hellions. So we have the medevac to drop, of course, into add-on swap. I would imagine into tank production. I would imagine. Yeah, tank production underway. Meanwhile, how many gateways here from Sagan going up to a 3-gate setup? So 3-gate blink here out of Sagan. Reapers, they move out. And Luciano, he does look for a way in. Oh, does try to knock the door open, but alas, Sagan, he does get in position. He does have the force field as well. Drop is moving out. And Sagan getting ready in the main. He's getting ready in the main base. Ooh, meanwhile, another tech lab, delayed Banshee play, but Banshee once again. So Luciano, Hellion drop into Banshee as well. Is trying to find damage, gets into the main, but Sagan is waiting for him. Yeah, Sagan in position, snipes 1, snipes 2. It takes down 2 Hellions, the medevac will survive. But Luciano's aggression is being shut down. Ay, ay, ay. So far, really rough opener here for Luciano. He's just not able to really find much damage. Looking for a way in. He's looking. Doesn't quite make it. Yeah, not quite. Oh. After Hellion does sit past. Does sit past, does get a full scat at least. We are rushing into Colossus production. Colossus are on the way for Sagan. Getting his third base. So far, Sagan looking solid. Looking solid so far. Now, Luciano's expanding. He's not going all in. Not going all in. It's a little bit haphazard, the setup that we have here. Like, the draw play has been shut down, and we have not actually moved out with the Banshees. 2 Banshees, they can one-shot workers, and we're going back into... He's doing it again! He's playing back again. He's crazy. Once again, a triple factory into Cloak Banshee. Or Cloak Banshee into triple factory, I should say. This is going to be a little bit more committed here from Sagan. Sorry, from Luciano. And again, Sagan, I'm sure he's familiar with how Luciano plays. Colossus on the way, charges on the way as well. Do we have any detection? One observer across the map. Banshees, they slip in. They can one-shot probes. They can, and they will. Yeah, there we go. Does force a recall. Does recall back home, but no detection. The observer's still across the map. Yeah, there's no observer. It's across the... We can keep going. Keep going. You can one-shot. Yeah, and this is becoming critical damage here. 8, 9, up to 10 probe kills. You can keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Observer's now on the way. There we go. 12, 13, 14 probes. No fear. 15. We're getting up to an entire mineral line. 16 probes going down. Observer has now arrived. And the Banshees, they will get away. Going for another drive-by. Getting almost up to 20 probes. There it is. Oh. 20 probes towards the end. Getting to 21. 21 probe kills. That is insane damage. And with that, Luciano takes a massive worker lead. Now he's taking his third base, and once again, he is playing this more slower mech style, and the observer sees everything.
You've depleted a mineral cluster.
I'm here.
He's aware. I have no idea what voice pack that was.
The enemy is destroying your probes. You must defend them.
Is that like Celendis or something? I don't know the Protoss voice packs. But regardless, tanks are set. Tanks are sieged. Uh-oh. Sagan has to be careful. Cannot easily move into this. Okay, tank boys, they will punish, they will force this back. And again, Luciano just going mass tank, and still making Banshees as well. As Banshees, they hit the third. Oh my god. They're finding more damage. Where's the detection? Observers across the map once again. No detection. You can keep going. Keep going. You can keep going. Ooh, meanwhile, fighting out range of the tanks. This is not ideal. The Marines are going to be cleaned up. Luciano, we need those tanks. He does need those tanks. Despite that, I mean, he's toast as well. Does take down. Oh, never mind. He holds his own. Does hold his own. The Banshees, they race back home. Again, they could have gotten even more damage. They should have gotten more damage. I mean, despite that, Sagan is hurting economically. He's still down to 49. He's oversaturated at his gas. Luciano playing it safe. Does check. Does find an expansion. We'll look to delay. Behind this, walling up, walling up. Does force a cancel. Luciano, he's in his zone. He's locked in, Pat. He's locked in. Once again, just distracting. Scan reveal, still no fourth. We do have a proxy on the way, though. Now, this is designed to warp in Zealot Rumbys, so just go for mass Zealot Rumbys instead. Once again, these tanks are a little bit far back. They can do with repositioning. At the same time, Banshees, they caught out as well. As Luciano is still going into Hellion tank Banshee. And still going for this, I mean, just again, very, very tank heavy style. Thor production has begun. I don't really know what the Thors are for. They can help against like Skytoss, I guess, but because the economy has been slowed down, Sagan doesn't really have the economy to sustain Skytoss. But I guess it's getting it. Can also kind of help against Thors, I suppose. Sorry, against Colossus, I suppose, but also not ideal. But sure, why not? Just mix him in. Personally, I would say that Hellion Cyclone would be a better supportive unit for tanks, but Luciano doing his own. He's getting there his own way. Storm is not research, so it's going to be Archon Chargelet. So Chargelet Archon here from Sagan. This is an army that can break a siege line in mass. But Luciano is maxed. He's maxed out and he should soon be pushing. Meanwhile, Banshees, they find another mineral line. Oh my god, another mineral line going to be going down. Once again, brutal losses. Oh, as they get another 14, 15 probe kills. And as fun as it is to see kind of this mech pop off, it's not the mech that's winning Luciano this game. He could be making anything right now. It's the Banshees. Let's be real. Like, the Banshees are the MVPs. As they'll say, don't quite break the planetary. Archon is going to go down. But here comes the mech. Here comes a mass Hellbat tank. And again, this could be any kind of maxed out army. And he'd be breaking through. Pushing in between the bases. Pushing towards the natural. Going for the kill. We do have all these other bases here for Sagan. But again, barely a standing army. The Colossus doing what they can. Hey, they shell away at the Hellbats at least. But the rovers within range. The Hellbats overextend. Ew, they should not be here. Yeah, they should not be out here. They have to fall back to the safety of the tanks. Otherwise, Zelts will clean this up. That's a lot of charge lots. Tanks are moving further in. Here we go. He goes for it. Yeah, it does go for the dive. Massive tank blows here on the Zealots. Order is going to be thrown down. And Sagan, he's going to be cleaned up. Yeah, Sagan, he does not have enough here. And not enough. GG gets called, and Luciano, he ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We are going to game number 3. Let's go. We're going to the ace match. Do SCVs have roller skates on? I see jet boosters, but no leg movements. They're hovering. I believe SCVs, they're hovering above the ground because of their little jet packs. From my understanding, from my recollection, But GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. This looks like a school gap. I wouldn't say. I mean, we're going to the ace match. What do you? I would say that Sagan and Luciano are relatively close in skill. I would say. Once again, as a reminder, just referencing what we just saw here in that last game, that was just the Cloak Banshees. We saw a really hard response there, or a really difficult response from Sagan to respond to said Banshees. He had a really hard time in getting his observers up and running. His observer was across the map. It was not back at home, so the Banshees, they just did critical damage. And they were the MVPs of that game. We saw how well Sagan performed in game 1, where he was the one with map control, where he was the one just pulling his Luciano apart in that TVP. So we've seen both players have their moments, we've seen both players pop off, and we'll find out who will claim the series. Let's go. Let us go. And as we're getting into the ace match, a big shout out to Eximius TV. Hold on. Obrigado. Fala galera. Obrigado. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great cast. Hope you had a great time over on your channel. Hope you guys had a great time, as I'm assuming you were covering a team league match, so hope you were successful in said match. And welcome one and all to the LATAM League, to the League Latino America, back to the quarterfinals, as we are jumping to the ace match. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Magnatha, we have the Chilean Terran player, the blue Terran. It is Luciano. Hala galera. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the purple Protoss player. We have the Chilean Protoss representing Team Gosu. It is Sagan. Oh, hello. As Luciano, he opens up with a fake proxy Rax. Okay, Luciano, you have my attention. We do see the probe scout into the main base, and Sagan, he is looking for that Rax. Now, checking the natural is standard, and yeah, he checks the natural. He confirms the Rax is back at home. Again, it is not uncommon as a Terran player to hide your Rax either further back in the main, in the natural, or even at the third base location. So Sagan, he does have the the wherewithal to scout, to check, and he does confirm the position here. Oh, will he kill the SCV? Oh my god, he does get a kill. The Rax does complete, but that is a very nice pickup for Sagan. Very nice. As with that, I would say that Sagan, he will have the better start, as he will snipe that building SCV. With that, we have the factory follow-up. Again, double gas. So double gas to open it into a faster factory. But now Sagan knows that there's no proxy. This could still be hyper-aggressive, of course. It will be. But there's no proxy at least. As Sagan does pull away. Ooh, do you see what I see? Second ranks. One base all in. Now this is the Luciano that I know and love. One base all in here from Luciano. Again, I mentioned before, I started the series talking about how like I've seen Luciano go like one base BC and go for proxy tank as well. And here, one base all in. Not quite what I mentioned earlier, but all in nonetheless. Now, ooh, the rescout. Oh god, the rescout confirms the starport. Sagan knows. He sees there should not be a starport at this time, and there should be a CC. So Sagan, he knows to be safe, to get extra gateways, and to set up back at home. So Sagan, he's seen everything he needs to. He doesn't know what kind of all-in, but he's aware that an all-in is coming. With this, Luciano can pull the boys. So we're going for early tank production. We're going for what looks to be early stim, potentially. Or maybe early marauder production. We'll see how this all comes together. We shall see. Medevac is on the way. Like, I'm just worried that stim will take too long. Like, stim is on the way, but it's gonna take a while to kick in. It's gonna give Sagan a lot of time to prepare. Like, usually one base all-ins hit without stim and you just pull the boys, right? And you rely on your tank production. So this feels a little bit a little bit chaotic, a little bit unfocused from Luciano. As we can see here, he can barely afford the second tank. So typically when we see one base all-ins, it's usually like 3 Raxes. Like you get up to 3 Raxes and you hit with just mass marine and with like with like 3 tanks and you pull the boys. You can go for like drop play like this as well, but likewise you will go without stim. If you're going with stim, like usually it's more Raxes, so more marines. So this feels a little bit chaotic, but we're bringing it all together regardless. Meanwhile, Sagan back at home, 4 gates. 1 in the main, 3 here at the natural, so 4 gate setup. Shield batteries are on the way, safety robo as well, 3 gases before expanding. Just very safe play here from Sagan, very safe. And Sagan, he has the tools to defend. He has the tools to defend. It comes down to the execution. As a couple of boys are being pulled, Sagan, he will miss the move out, but he will catch reinforcements. Nicely done. The medevac. Ooh, medevac goes down. Takes down the medevac, takes down 2 marines. And Luciano, this is all he has left. 2 tanks, 1 medevac, a handful of bio units. Stim is done. Add-ons are under fire. Blinks into the main base, gets another tank. Takes out a second tank for 1 stalker. And good control here from Sagan. He will clean everything up at the same time. Luciano's going for the kill. He's going for the throw. He needs to siege. He doesn't need to siege up. There you go. Tank does now siege. Bunkers on the way. Shield batteries at late. Yeah, late shield batteries here out of Sagan. Oof. SimCity working against him. That is a brutal choke point. Very brutal choke point. Pylon goes down. Depowers everything. No more gateways. No more production. Uh-oh. Okay, we have backup pylons on the way. Can we get another warp in? Double 4? No shot. Double 4? She's crazy. Sagan. He saw the 1 base all in. Oh, and it looks like Luciano might just have too much. Yeah, Luciano, he has too much. Sagan, he was too greedy. Double 4, she's crazy. He lost his mind, and again, the production was exposed. Everything gets depowered. He's down to 1 gateway. He can warp in 1 unit at a time. Luciano, he's doing it. But he needs reinforcements. He needs reinforcements. There we go. The boys are being pulled. Can he get here in time to save the tank? Can he save the tank? I say tank because he should lose 1. Yeah, 1 tank goes down. There's 1 tank left. 1 tank remaining. The boys are coming. Get over here. The tank needs you. As we do have another immortal on the way. Again, immortals are tank busters. They're built to bring them down. There's a cancel. And we gotta keep going. Like, we cannot take our time here. He stims. Oh, he sees the immortal. Does it? No shot, we're going back. There we go. It all comes together. It all comes in. Again, it's one immortal, one stalker, but there's a sentry, there's a force field. There's a force field. Up, where is it? The force field a little bit late. Yeah, a little bit late in the force field. Yeah, the tank does move in. Oh, second immortal has arrived. Luciano is taking too long. Yeah, he's just taking too long. Sagan holds. With two tanks, this is not going to be broken. It's not going to be broken. Luciano took too long to get into the main base. Took too much time. And with that Sagan, he has held. He will clean this up. There's just not enough DPS here. Not enough Marines. Down to 3 Marines. Down to 2. Soon to be down to 1. Dust around 1 immortal. I mean, the surround is working. But there's still 3 Stalkers. Yeah, GG. Good luck. Very close game here. But Sagan, he will take the series at 2-1. Advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. Again, Luciano, he was just a little bit too late to pull the boys, a little bit too late to reinforce. If he had done that even 20 seconds sooner, he would have saved the second tank even. He would have saved the tanks. He could have pushed further in, push further in faster as well. Like, there was so much going well there for Luciano, and a lot of it was on Sagan. As we mentioned, Sagan, he scattered the all-in. He saw what was coming his way, but he was so greedy. The response, the production was exposed. Lack of shield batteries, double forge in the main base. Crazy greed when it came to the response. It almost cost him the game, but almost. In the end, again, Luciano, he was just a little bit late to reinforce. He was unable to save that second tank, and GG, well played. With that, Sagan, he will take the series. He will advance on into the next round. And up next, we have one final best of 3 remaining here. Oh my god, we just had some Chile on Chile action. But now, it's time for the Peruanos to get on each other. Let's go. Let us go. As you can see here, we have one series left. We have Password versus Draconics. Let's go. We have a PvT between our 2 Peruvian players here. Again, Password, I should say congratulations. Felicidades here to Password, because he recently got married. He recently got married. Recently did have his wedding. That was what, like 3 weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, but recently did get married. So congratulations to Password. Again, Password, he used to be a lot more active many years ago. Nowadays he plays part-time. You know, he's starting a family. You know, congratulations to Password. Draconics, as I mentioned before, recently has been casting. I mean, he's always been a player, but recently started casting in Spanish, of course. In Spanish, has been covering some of his team league matches, of course, for his team, for the other Latin American players out there, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun tuning into Draconics and seeing him get on that casting couch, if you will. So we'll see how they compare to each other. I'll be honest, I do feel like these players are quite close in skill. They're quite close. Part of me wants to lean towards Draconics, but I can see this going to the ace match. I can see this going the distance. We'll see how this goes. We'll see who will take this. Let's go. Este Password, este Draconics. Let's go. What a series, yeah. what a roller coaster ride of emotions. It's crazy. Oh, GG, well played. But again, we have one series left now. When it comes to the semifinals and the grand finals, that will be coming up next week. Most likely next week, maybe in 2 weeks' time. But, you know, not tonight, I should emphasize. Tonight is only the quarterfinals. Only the quarterfinals. Just as a heads up. Yeah. But it does look like players, they need some time. They do need some time here to set up, to get things going. So we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break here, and when we come back, we will have that final series. We'll have that TVP. So we'll see you guys soon in a couple of minutes here for our next match. See you soon as we get ready for our final best of the morning. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, I hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we returned. We returned with our final series of the broadcast, our final best of 3 quarterfinals match here in the Latino American StarCraft 2 League, the LATAM League quarterfinals. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the Peruvian Terran player, the Teal Terran. It is Ducklings. Ducklings. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Peruvian Protoss player, the red Protoss. It is Password. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you believe will claim this series as final best of 3 of the quarterfinals. It's been an intense day of StarCraft already. We've had a lot of back and forth. That last series was crazy. Luciano versus Sagan might be the highlight of the broadcast, to be honest. Like, it was a banger of a back and forth. But now we are here with another Terran versus Protoss. A very different kind of Terran versus Protoss. I think we were a little bit spoiled last time by Luciano going non-stop mech and non-stop aggression and non-stop cheese. Ducklings is a bit more of a standard player. I say that. SV does sneak out across the map, does avoid the probe, and is coming in for an eBay block. So eBay block out of Ducklings, looking to delay the economy here of Password. And coming into this here, I mean, again, Ducklings, both Password and Ducklings have been relatively active as of late. Password did retire for quite some time. And again, as I mentioned before, did recently get married. So again, felicidades here. Congratulations to Password recently getting married and looking to start a family as well. It's definitely really exciting and really fun to hear as Password is progressing, of course, in his life. Ducklings has recently been streaming a lot more, has been casting a lot more as well, but we'll see how they compare to each other. I don't know how to place them right now, to be honest. Like, I have not casted either Password or Ducklings in years, in a long, I mean, I looked it up earlier. Last time I casted Sagan was 2020. I don't know when the last time it was that I casted Ducklings. It might have also been 2020 as well. You know what, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Until then, though, we do force to cancel here on the natural base. So Password, he will eventually expand. He was forced to make a Zeld, and his natural base was delayed by the eBay, but he will expand on location in a more secure setup here at his natural. Reaper does dip in, Adept is in position, and Ducklings is going to be forced back. So I'm just going to quickly look up when was the last time I cast the Ducklings and Password. I'm curious. Behind this, we have, of course, we did cover some of these players during I was going to say during the Hispanic StarCraft League. True, I did cast the Ducklings during HSL, right? True. Before that, 2021. 2021 for the Ducklings. What about Password? I think more recently, right? Yeah, 2022. Yeah, so the last time before this year, the last time I casted Ducklings was 2021, and last time I casted Password was 2022. So a little bit more frequently, a little bit more recently, I should say, I casted Password versus Jaime versus Jim Rising in Copa Hyperion number 34. Damn. It's been 3 years. 3 years since I last casted Password. That's crazy. That is crazy. But we're back. We're here. We are back. Meanwhile, Ducklings setting up back at home, going for his own 1-1-1. GSL made in Peru. Let's go. Let's go. The Incan edition, baby. Let's go. As Reaper does move out. Behind this, we do see that Ducklings setting up for what looks to be a Hellion drop here. Getting into delayed Hellion production. Marines, Medevac is on the way, so we are setting up for drop play. Ducklings is going to be moving out soon. Momentarily here, he's going to be pushing across the map. Meanwhile, back at him, Password, he is going for a Twilight Council opener, triple gateway into a robo. Very safe opener here out of Password into a bit of a later expansion. So safe play out of Password. So far, so good. Meanwhile, Ducklings, he does move out. What just happened? Interesting. So Ducklings, I think he just assumed there was an observer over his base because he went for it. He dropped his Hellions at the 3rd from the natural, and then he went back over to pick up his Marines. So technically he snuck out with the Hellions, but now he runs into the army. Observer is back at home. So some interesting moves here out of Draconics, as it does pull away. Likewise, drop into the main. So far, Password is keeping up. The main base is more exposed, though he only has the one Stalker in position. Also, hello, the OG Booger. TOB, if you will. Good to see you. As for now, the Hellions are going to be forced back. Drop into the main, though. Yeah, it does drop into the main base. Password is out of position. Probe's going to be going down. He gets 3 worker kills so far. Gets a Stalker as well. Very nice damage, getting him to 5 probes. Yeah, 5 probes go down. Likewise, does attempt to focus on the pylon. We'll lose the medevac. Medevac does go down, but nice target firing here out of the Draconics. Getting up to 8 probes, 9 probes. 10. 10 workers going down, not bad. 10 workers do fall. That is worth it here for the Draconics. Behind this, of course, getting to his own 3-1-1 setup. A third CC is on the way. He's not going all in, but he has done a great job of getting damage done early on here. So he does find himself with the lead. Even does find the Observer. He's going to hunt it down. And so far, the Draconics in a better position. Meanwhile, across the map, Password, he has yet to really be active with those Wing Stalkers. He's been stuck at home defending. His third base is, again, at a reasonable time, but economy is delayed here for Password. Now he's moving out, and the pressure is on the Protoss to get some damage done. The pressure is on as Password does move out. Does move out, does hit the bunker. Bunker does fall. But so far the tank will hold. Draconics is still safe and sound. Rebuilds the bunker just in case. Likewise, Raven harass across the map. And Password, he needs more damage. Like, sure, he gets the bunker, but he needs to get into the main base, get into a mineral line, needs some kind of economic damage here. More than just the bunker. Meanwhile, he does struggle. He does fail to contain his opponent. Ideally, you want to fan out your Stalkers. You want to try to keep your opponent pinned in their bases, but the Draconics, he sneaks out. He sneaks out with the Raven, sneaks out with the medevac drop as well. Password tries to poke in, is deflected by the tank. Now, thankfully, Password, he has some units at home to defend. A handful of them. Raven is deflected. Behind this, Draconics taking up in towards Ghost production. Third base now being taken. And he's looking to move in. But again, we have charge lots, plenty of them. Yeah, Password is in position. Third base being taken. Marines, they step into the mineral line. They do get some probe kills. Nice target firing. 4 probes going down. And the Draconics, he will pick up. He will pull out. Does pull away. Main army is spotted by the Observer. Drop is spotted as well. Password, he's somewhat aware. Password, he is aware. Draconics is dropping. There we go, saving by the army. Oh. Likewise, dropping into the main. Ooh, 1 full medevac goes down. Yeah, rough loss there for the Draconics. Does lose a medevac. Likewise, going for the Bay. Can he sniping some double lance? Oh, it's gonna be close. Can he get it? Oh, barely not. Yeah, it does snipe the Bay, but 1-2 seconds too late. Does not snipe the upgrade. Again, we still have that second Colossus in production. So far, Password is still looking quite secure. On the one hand, Draconics has been getting some damage, right? It's been good damage as well. Some probes have been going down. In total here, 15 probes have fallen. He has been able to snipe some tech as well. He's been quite active. Going for the diamonds of the Colossus. Oh, can he get it? He can! He does take the Colossus, gets 1, takes down the Immortals as well, gets 1 Immortal as well. Just barely. From here, he pulls away, does evacuate with the medevacs. These are nice pickoffs, but what I'm concerned by here is the main push. When it comes to the main armies, I do favor Password in a head-on fight. The drop play has been on point, but the macro has been lacking. As you can see, Draconics, he has, what, 900 gas, 500 minerals. Like, the macro has been slipping here. As amazing as the drops have been, Draconics, he has been having a hard time spending his money. And he goes for the dive. The tanks are on siege. 1, 2, 3 tanks go down, and Password, he will overwhelm. He will break the third base. There's just not enough here. And again, 1,000 gas, like 500 minerals, like we just weren't set up. Also, unfortunate, tanks were on siege, right? Tanks were on siege as well. So despite all the drop play, despite all the damage, Password, he walks across the map. He breaks the third. Alas, Draconics, he has nothing left here. And he can just keep going. He can... Password, he can aim if happy at this point. He can't just push forward. Even with only one Colossus, it's fine. He doesn't need it. Doesn't need the Colossus. Takes down the tank. Takes down the bunker. GG gets called. And with that Password, he will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, really nice drop play, really nice harassment there by Draconics. He was getting a lot of damage done. It was impressive, but as we mentioned, his macro was slipping. On top of that, his third base was exposed. It was also unfortunate that, remember, when Password moved in, 3 tanks unsieged. The tanks, they all unsieged as the army was pushing forward, so that was also the worst setup there for Draconics. He had no bunkers, he had no Sim City to protect his tanks either against the Mass Zealots, so Password snowballed out of control. He snowballed out of control from there. GG, well played. A Password who will take lead in the series, and we'll see if Draconics can recover and try to force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. As we're getting into game 2. We'll see where our players will take us. So just updating the Wikipedia page while we can. Also on Pylon. Beautiful. Okay. Game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. Okay, here we go. So game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. So we're just trying to figure out what map we're going to be loading into next, as the players had not yet decided. But it's all good. We're jumping to game 2. And the pressure is now on Draconics. The pressure is on, and we're now loading into a much larger map in the map pool. Pylon is known for aggression. I should also emphasize that as well, right? The map is known for aggression. The map is more exposed when it comes to the 3rd and 4th base location. So these pushes are even more difficult to defend against. Here it is easier to defend, so longer macro play, more defensive play can be favored as we load into Tokamak. Let's go. And spawning in the right hand corner of Tokamak, we have our Peruvian Protoss player. We have our red Protoss leading the series 1-0. It is Password. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player, himself from Peru. Down in the series, we'll see if he bounce back. We'll see if we can make a series out of this. It is Draconics. Let us go. So we are settling into our next game. So getting into our next setup. Sorry, I'm just fixing up. Password, he messaged me that I had misspelled his name and it was Password with a capital W. So I'm like, so I'm changing it everywhere while I can. Fixing it up. There we go. Here we go. Initially, though, we are going to be setting up. We do have the SCV across the map. Once again, last game, we had the eBay block from the Draconics, and I'm expecting the same thing here as well. Ooh, never mind. I'd say that, but next is going to be throwing down the Draconics. He will scout. He is a little bit too late here to set up here on the low ground. But we'll scout the main. Scout the main base. Again, everything as it should be. Everything looking solid so far. We go. So his password is not all lowercase. We have confirmation. We have confirmation. Ay ay ay. See, it's at least medium strength password, okay? It's got some capitals in there. Got some capitals. No numbers though. Oh no. As Reaper does pick in. Oh, gets a probe. Not bad. Gets a worker, pulls out, and will get away. Likewise, behind this, we did have our initially economic opener, racks expand into a delayed factory. Everything so far looking normal. A password is about to confirm. Password, he was able to confirm the opener, and we'll just confirm that there's nothing crazy here. Technically, this could lead into like a second and third racks, into like a 3 racks, into a 3cc 3 racks, or into a 2-on-1. So password just confirms everything's looking normal. Ooh, and he gets eyes on the add-on swap as well. Okay. So reacted Hellion once again. As a reminder, last game this led into a Hellion drop. We'll see what we go for this time. Or I guess it was Marine drop with Hellion harass, to be fair. But that is a very fast tech lab. Okay, so tech lab on the racks. This might just be reacted Hellion into an add-on swap into tank production. Yep, there it is. There's that add-on swap into tanks. So far, so good. Likewise, password setting up. Going for his own Twilight Council, extra gateway, so 3-gate blink set up here out of password. 3-gate blink into his robo on 2 bases. So far, again, very safe play, 2 games in a row by password. Nothing crazy, nothing too aggressive, nothing too greedy. This does get in. Catching out 2 probes. Yeah, 2 probes going down. Ooh, only nice body blocking out of password. Okay. 3 workers do fall, but he will shut this down. Last the Hellion. No, the Hellion gets away. The force fueled ones are just a little bit too late. And the Draconics will escape. So a bit of a back and forth here. That could have been worse, but I would say a nice trade from the Draconics. Getting 3 probe kills behind this. Oh, I thought it was an add-on swap for a tank. I mean, I guess it was. It's a bit of everything here. Add-on swap into tank production, into Banshee follow-up. This is all very tech heavy. There's just so much investment into harassment here. And my concern is if we don't get damage done, right? Like, this is quite committed. Hellion into tank drop, into Banshee play as well. We need damage. We need to achieve some damage here, otherwise the Draconics will fall behind. This is quite committed. Not just this drop, but everything coming together. As this is a tank drop into the main. Let's go. Boosting into the main. Stalkers in position. Blink is almost done. Password claiming his third. Third base is on the way. Drop does come in. And with that, we got some nice control here out of the Draconics, but the medevac does go down. Does depower, does depower the production here, but password, he will shut this down. Aye, aye, aye. And password, he will defend. If you recall, last game, password, he sustained a lot of losses. Like, he was taking a lot of damage from the drop play. But this time he's a little more secure. Has still taken some losses, especially in the natural. True, has lost a couple of probes, but nowhere near as much as last game. Like, again, last game, the Draconics was all over password. Was pulling him apart, just getting to mineral line after mineral line, probe after probe was going down. It was insane damage that the Draconics was dealing. It was just his macro that was slipping, right? It was that follow-up that was lacking for Draconics. Aye, aye, aye. Meanwhile, the observer across the map does confirm the Cloak Banshee. Password sees everything. He saw the Banshee moving out. So he should be ready for it. As we have a... Oh, 5-1. Jesus. We have a 5-1-1. This does look very committed here from Draconics. He's getting a third CC though, so he's expanding. Banshee moves out. Stalker's in position. Observer as well. And the Banshees are going to be shut down. Ay, ay, ay. Again, they just don't really deal that much damage. The Banshee does fall in between the bases. Ah. Yeah, the Banshee does get away. Again, Password just setting up. Going for his bay. His third base is getting saturated, working towards charge. Now Password, we just commit. Okay. If you remember, the setup here, look, it screamed 2-base all in to me. If you recall, I was talking about how committed this looked, but then I stopped myself from saying 2-base all in because there's a third CC. But I guess it doesn't matter. I get it. Throw down to third base and pull the boys. Let's go. Let's go. It's all or nothing with Draconics. He's going for the kill, going for the throat. Password does dive in, does focus at the tank. The tank does fall. And I speak up there from Password, but the Marines, they're popping up, they shut down the Zealots, they're going for the Stalkers. We need another warp in. We need another warp in here, and it does warp in just in time. Zealots have arrived. And with the help of those Zealots, Password, does he hold on? It's still quite close. He needs more Zealots, needs more charge lots. Marines, they stim in, takes out the Immortal. Immortal goes down. Stalkers are exposed. Password has to blink away. The boys are being pulled, and Password, he needs that warp in. And he will warp in time. Yeah, the Zealots have arrived. Password, he holds. Ooh, he holds and he barely loses any probes. May have lost the Immortal, but that doesn't matter as much. The Bay is done. No Colossus yet. We can see Draconics is not done. He's not done. He does reinforce. Moving in once again. Does push forward. Password, he's trying to keep up. Oh. Army is deflected. Nice force field. Very nice force fields. But hoping up here from Draconics does save his bio. Quick moves. Quick moves out of our Terran. Still rattling across the map. I mean, hey, he may pull the boys, but he's been making SCVs. Like, he's got mules. He can still keep going. But you can lose 16 SCVs and still maintain this. And Draconics, he's so close to breaking Password. So close. Oof. Tank goes down. Draconics, unfortunately, out of tanks. And not making any more behind this. Transferring over. Dropping into the main. And we can see a Password. He is trying to keep up. We'll bleed out some Stalkers. Stalker's going to be going down. Drop pulls away. Does pull away. And Draconics, he is running out of steam here. Password, I mean, supply-wise, Draconics is ahead, but I mean, the suit does lie. Password, he is on 3 bases. So is Draconics, actually. Like, again, he's now getting a 4 CC. Like, I'm still trying to process the fact that we pulled the boys and we're still ahead in workers. Like, Draconics, he's an animal. Like, he's economically, he's actually looking quite solid. He's on 68 SCVs, getting a 4th base, soon to expand and get his 4th as well. Like, Draconics, he's looking solid. You know what? He's looking like he didn't even pull the boys. He did, of course, but... And part of this is because of the 4th base. The 4th base is late for Password. Likewise, I'm a little bit surprised, but no Colossus. He has the Bay. He has the Bay. He's ready for it, but no Colossus production here out of Password. Not yet. So his army's not what it should be. Draconics takes the lead. Now floating over, taking his base, taking his expansion. As Draconics does move out. That's boosting in towards the main. Does boost in. Oh, unloads and completely unscattered, by the way. Yeah, no observer. No observer in position. We would expect one. Draconic stims in. Does hit the main. There's that recall, but can he focus that? He cannot focus the time. Yeah, that's a bold move here by the Draconics. Ooh, we'll lose a medevac. Medevac goes down. Draconics though still has that massive supply advantage. Does have a massive army to work with. Password still building up. Now, if given time, Password will recover 100%. Like Password, he has Storm. He has Storm. He's working towards more Colossus, or at least he should be. Like Password is not out of this game. It all depends on how Draconics makes use of this army. He's for now working on upgrades, Ghost production, Vikings, Fusion Cores on the way forward, Liberated Range. Like everything so far is solid from Draconics, but it will come down to the main fight. And partly will come down to the storms and to the EMPs as well. Bearing in mind that there are how many? There are 4 ghosts. Observers get caught. But there are 4 ghosts with the army. EMP is going to be crucial here for the Draconics as he engages. Likewise, positional play with the Vikings. Password claiming another expansion. Now setting up. So we are setting up. GG, 11 turrets? I looked over at the production tab. We have 11 turrets on the way. I mean, that's a way to spend money, I suppose. She's terrified about a War Prism. Jesus. Throwing down all the turrets. Dropping to the main. Does unload. It does unload. You can see Password is going to be dragged back into the main. But here comes the main army. And that's a lot of Vikings. So far, 6 Vikings. Here come the storms. Does go for the feedback. How many High Templar? Only, okay, 6. 6 High Templar. Plenty of storms. Dropping the main is getting a little bit out of hand. Vikings, sorry, the Liberators are set. Viking takes down 1 Colossus. We have liberation, we have freedom. Does want the High Templar. Does want it. Liberator slowly pushing forward. Ghost coming in with the EMPs. Ghost coming with the EMP. Yeah, there we go. Lands the EMP. Both armies are maxed. Tanks are pushing forward as well. And who does flinch first? Here we go. Password goes for it. Does go for the dive. Tanks that should be going down. Massive EMPs on the Colossus. Colossus goes down. No more storms. And Draconics, he does it. He takes the fight. He will break the 3rd, break the 4th even. And Draconics, he should not be stopped. There should not be enough here. Storm doesn't quite connect. There's what, 1 storm left. And Password is pinned back. High Templar goes down as well. And Draconics, he should have enough here. There's still that 1 storm. And there it is. I mean, the storm wasn't bad, but that was maybe the best storm we've seen. The others were lackluster. There's another storm lying in wait. Draconics just rallying across the map, going for the hybrid base as well. Drags the army into freedom. Oh god, another brutal storm. At this point, we should probably land the Vikings. We can land the Vikings. We can move forward even further. Regardless, the base is still broken. The expansion still goes down. Takes down the prism. Rotating over towards the third. Liberators are set up. Colossus goes out instantly. There's just so much freedom. Yeah, there's too much freedom here. Too much freedom, too many Liberators. The army gets bullied back. And GG gets called with that Draconics. He will snowball out of control. He will tie the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Ooh, GG. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game number 3 here, and we'll see how this story ends. Again, very intense back and forth. Here, I will say that the Draconics, his drop play was less successful, but the all-in was successful here. He may have lost 16 SCVs, but he was able to trade against the army, trade well enough, contain Password on 3 bases, and behind it, he was able to mule his heart out, rebuild those SCVs, claim his third base as well. I was very impressed that Draconics, despite pulling the boys, despite committing so hard, he still maintained himself. Very impressive stuff there by Draconics. With that, again, Password, he was late to expand, late to take a 4th. He was late to take a 4th base, late to take a 5th base as well. His economy was lackluster, so because of that, his army was also lackluster as well. He just could not keep up, not with Draconics. And with that, we have 1 game left. Oh boy. 1 game does remain. 1 map does remain. And where are we dropping here? What map is left? We got rid of Torches, Incorporeal, Leylines, Ultra Love Maganatha, Lost Fantasy. What are we missing here? Oh, Persephone, right? Here we go. Here we go. As we're getting into our final map, our final game of the series, here we go. Let's jump in. Let us jump in. Whew, oh boy. And again, based on how our players have been competing here tonight, based on how they've been performing, it's hard to call a favorite player. I mean, Draconics has been looking the most impressive. Like, you could argue maybe game 1 he was nervous, you know, maybe he was a little bit nervous, you know, maybe because of that he was having a hard time actually macroing out of the game. He had to warm up a little bit, you know, and that could explain as to what happened in the first game. But we'll see, because again, I'm sure Password is also gearing up as well, also getting ready as we jump into that final game of the series, the final game of the broadcast. Let's go. Also, big shout out to Mr. Melancholy in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for the first time with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. Giving us so much great content. You're awesome, bro. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. We do our best. We do our best. All the casting, all the StarCraft. We do as much as we can for the scene, for the community, for the people. We do as much as we can. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate the support, always. As we are getting into our final game of the series, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Peruvian Terran player, the Red Terran, tying up the series 1-1 and forcing the ace match. It is Draconics. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the Peruvian Protoss, being forced into a tied series. Can he bring it back? It is a Password. Let us go. And fun facts, if you want to tune into more of both Password and Draconics, they both stream. They both stream on Twitch. They both stream relatively regularly whenever they have time. So they both have their ladder sessions. As I mentioned before, Draconics, he has... Oh. Hello. They both boop their heads a little bit there. But Draconics has been dabbling into casting a little bit more as of late. But again, like, more for fun, like casting just Team League matches more than anything. But both players have been streaming a lot, have been laddering a lot. And there we go. We do have our eBay block at the natural. eBay has been thrown down. I'm going to say that a lot of the players that we covered tonight have been streaming quite frequently. I'm referring to Password, Draconics, Eon, Tavito as well. Like, they all do stream relatively regularly. More so than I do. True, true. When it comes to laddering. As we have that eBay block again. Oh my, that's a lot of Jesus, that is so much progression on the eBay. With that password, he cannot expand. Does make the Zealot, but again, that's going to be a very delayed expansion here, a very strong start for the Draconics. So typically in this matchup, if the eBay gets this far along, you don't make the Zealot, you cancel the Zealot, you just expand at the third. Because it's just so late. But Password, he does refuse to expand at the third base location. Instead, he will still take his natural, but a very delayed natural base instead. So a strong start here from the Draconics. Getting what he wanted. Does get what he wanted here. Likewise, at the same time, a big shout in the chat to Fat Big Skinny. Just a little bit confused about what that means, but sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing at tier 1 for 3 months in advance. Oh my god. Okay, for 3, I guess that means 3 months in a row. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bobby God. Bobby God, thank you so much. I don't think I've seen that before. didn't know that was a thing. But thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content, the StarCraft and the casting, and the LATAM League as well. As of course, this is a league that has been running for the past month. Unfortunately, because we've been so busy, especially with EWC, like you know this, like we were casting DreamHack nonstop and Esports World Cup qualifiers nonstop as well. So we just didn't have the time. We didn't have the free slots in our schedule to cast even more StarCraft. That's why I said earlier, I was saying this last week, and I say this every now and then as well, like we're overbooked. we cast so much StarCraft already. If we could like clone ourselves, we could cast even more. There's just so much StarCraft going on, and we can't cast everything. I'd love to cast more than we do, but we just can't. But there's so much more going on, like the Bolivian tournaments, or like more Latin American StarCraft here, more amateur StarCraft as well, more StarCraft Evolution content. Like there's a lot more StarCraft going on. And even recently, shout to Choi, a Korean ex-player. He's hosting a tournament. I think that's next week. He's hosting a tournament. He also reached out to host for us to cast. He's like, yo, I'm going to be hosting a tournament for the Koreans. Do you guys want to cast? I'm like, we have no room. Like, I'm sorry. We have no room. We have no room. There's just a lot of StarCraft going on. We do our best. We do our best to keep up. But the reason why I brought that up is that this event has been running for the past month, and we didn't cast the group stage. We're here for the playoffs. We're here for the quarterfinals and semis and finals, but we did miss out on the group stage, as these players have been duking it out. And again, you can check out the bracket !B in the chat. We only just made the Wikipedia page today, and we still have to fill out some of the details, so it's a bit of a rough draft of the Wikipedia page. We still have to insert the results for the group stage, but it's there. It's there as well, so you can check it out. Here we go. Here we go. As we're settling into this, we do have our third base on the way here for Password. Likewise, working towards charge. A blink is done. So a standard safe opener here out of Password, going for a third base. Everything is slightly delayed though for Password because of the opener, and the Draconics across the map is freely settling in. We do have our own 3-1-1 setup into a 5-1-1 into a third CC. Do you see what I see? This looks like the same setup we had last game. A 5-rack setup here with a third base on the way. So I'm not putting it past the Draconics to pull the boys, to commit across the map and to try to break Password before Colossus Tech, because there's the Bay, the Colossus are on the way, but just like last game, can the Draconics hit before the first Colossus really comes online? Stim is halfway done. The Bay likewise getting up to that halfway mark as well. We are getting there. The Bio Army is amassing. Bio Army is building up. Oh. Hallucination shut down. Double EB on the way for double upgrades. Password, he does move out. Now, this is not designed to break the Draconics. This is designed to contain. To deny any kind of drop play. We have the Observer on the left. We have the Observer on the right. We have the Stalkers in the middle. Here comes Draconics. Does break out. My eyes are on this mineral line. As he does push. And so far, Password doing a great job at slowing this down, at just poking in. Third base now being taken. Ghost Academy's on the way. Draconics, he does not commit this time. This time he is teching. And he's staying at home. He will stay back at home. Password, he still needs more time to build up his own Colossus, kind of his own setup, his own army. I would say the Password was vulnerable, but Draconics doesn't move out. So the game will continue. The Observer does spot the double drop. You can see Password with the intercept. He knows it's coming. Yeah, moving in. Does blink over. He is ready. Yo, the setup and oh no! Oh my god, he gets one! Gets one full medevac. Very nice catch. I wonder if Draconics, I mean, he should know now. Like that was very suspicious. He should know there's an Observer somewhere. But where exactly? Could be on top of the army, could be outside of his bases, it could even be here on the corner on the right hand side. Draconics pulling away. Behind this, going for a second starport into Mass Viking. Go. Oh. So it goes down. So it goes down. The Draconics is building up. Jesus, I just... as Draconics, I mean, if you remember last game, he was making like 11 turrets at a time. Here, he makes the 3 bunkers. Very secure here at the third. Meanwhile, Password is just chilling. Just chilling, getting a 4th base, just building up, macroing up as well. No rush here. No rush from Password. Just calming down. Here comes that 4th. 4th base on the way. Password pushing on the right hand side. Both armies have a similar army supplies to work with here. Do we have any storm? This time no storm. Ooh. So it's only Colossus for splash damage. Disruptors are on the way. But this time there's no storm to support. Not too in love with this move here. EP's going off of the Stalkers. Yeah, Zelt's punished. I saw a little more charge, lots morphing in. At the same time, triple drop across the map. I believe the Observer did not see this. Yeah, barely not. That was out of vision. Meanwhile, the drop and the Zelt run by, they spot each other. Bunkers are ready. Zelt's dealt with. And again, Password, he did see the drop. He's ready for it. Oh! Doesn't get the medevac. But does hold. Does hold, does defend. Again, still very tense between our 2 players. My big concern here for Password is the lack of splash damage, right? Just only 2 Colossus. And 2 Disruptors. I do favor the overall composition of Draconics, but I'm concerned about the lack of 4th. The 4th base of Draconics is late. So late 4th base from the Terran. As it's now being taken. Password, he rotates over. The 4th base is vulnerable. And how will the armies clash? Stalkers breaking in. Goes for the dive, goes for the CC. Yeah, 5th base is cancelled, 4th base is under fire. Army does go for the chase and should get at least the Colossus. Never mind. Does pull away. Nice damage here with the Stalkers. Bunker's not quite within range. CC being delayed as well. There's that recall. Army does escape. And that's going to force another cancel. Oh, it's close. Can he get it? Oh my god, it barely does finish. Whew. Base completes, Prism into the mains, El Warprint does arrive, and no, this time no ring of turrets. Dragonix had the money for it, but no ring of turrets here in the main. SCVs are going down. Dragonix is all in. It's completely all in here. What you see is what you get. He does have a bank to work with, that is true, but he's losing a lot back at home. As we have a Warprint of DTs as well. Just catching free damage in the main, just catching reinforcements, Marines, Marauders, everything going down. Knocks down the turret, the tower even. Does get the Colossus. Well, it's not about the Colossus, it's about the Disruptors. How many Novas? 3. Now 2. 2 Novas left, down to 1. Password, a little bit trigger happy with those Novas. He's down to 1 Disruptor. Nova goes off. No, 0 connections. Uh-oh. And that's it. That's all he had. Only 3 Novas. And with that, we can sim, we can win. Dragonix, he can break the 3rd. At the same time, the main base is killed. Everything else is on fire. Or at least the main base is. Dragonix, he can't keep pushing. Ooh, I think killed his own ghost. From here, he rotates. Again, this production is still struggling. Dragonix, he has money, but he can't spend it. As tanks get caught out, Nova's going, oh no! Oh, massive connections! Ay, ay, ay. He takes the Novas to the face. Takes them to the face. Dragonix, he's got 2k in the bank, but the production is dying. Again, he cannot spend his money. He's racing back home to deal with this. Again, this one War Prism is the MVP. Imagine if there were turrets here. Imagine if there was that defensive setup. As the Prism even gets away. Liberation in the main. More Raxes going down. There's how much left? We're down to 2 Raxes. 2 Raxes. 2 starports. Oh, sorry, I should say 4 Raxes. 0 factories. You can see he's trying to rebuild. More Raxes on the way. I believe he still has 0 factories as well. Sorry, down to 1. Oh, the factory's floating. it's safe. Factory's floating at least. But Dragonix, his production is now delayed. His Remax is delayed. And Password, he can rebuild himself. I still would prefer to see a little bit more complexity than just Disruptors, but sure. I'm referring to Storms. Bearing in mind, there's only 1 Ghost. Like, EMPs are not a threat. Novas. Ooh, brutal connections. Yeah, Novas are going up. 2 Novas do connect. Dragonix is struggling. Liberator goes down. Liberator does fall. This Password is pushing forward. Likewise trying to push into the concave. Dragonix, he is set up though. It's well set up. Does hold, does defend. So once again does commit in. Oh! Not quite able to force his way forward. I mean, he's got his liberation zone, it's true. He's got liberators here at the right hand side at the 4th, in between the bases. We spoke earlier, there's no storm here. Like, there's no storm with this army. There is no setup. So Dragonix now pushing forward. Oh. Yeah, liberators are set. Oh my god, Nova goes off, takes down a Ghost. I believe that was the final Ghost. No, okay, 2 more. 2 more Ghosts left. Just a handful of Ghosts remaining. Up, the lever goes off. Brutal connection. Yeah, the army is the SimCity working against the DarkUnnamed here. Getting choked up. Is getting choked up. DTs, Zelsay do pop up. 14 SCV is going to be going down. Nice economic damage here. DarkUnnamed's falling here in workers. Getting another base. It's mainly a Stalker-based army, though. It does stem in. He does focus on one Disruptor. Another falls. One left. One Disruptor remaining. Again, there's no Storm. There's no Colossus. Just one Disruptor. We can stem in. Send it. Send it, Pappy. Let's go. Gets the Disruptor. The Immortals as well. Oh, brutal connection. Never goes off. Vikings, they do land. Trying to catch out the army. Still a very intense trade here. And what's important, even though the armies do clash in the center, Password mass expanding. It's just mass expanding behind this, taking more bases, more expansions. And with that Password, he is overwhelming. Takes down one of the Liberators. Does move in. Oh. Does attempt to. Again, I'm still not sold on the composition of Password. It's so Stalker heavy here, which is quite vulnerable. Although it's an efficient army. But very mobile, true. Very mobile. Rotating back over. Again, his economy is still untouched. He still has all these bases, all this economy. He can still afford these trades. Oh. DarkUnnamed does move in. As likewise, we're actually just going for the base trade. I was curious about our positioning here, but DarkUnnamed, he just ignores the army. We're sending it. Let's go. DarkUnnamed, he just sends everything across the map. Likewise, Password goes to the kill. The 5th base is going to fall. Sorry, the 4th base, I should say. Planetary, it does hold on a little bit longer here, getting some extra DPS, but it does crumble. At the same time, DarkUnnamed, he just sends it across the map. Ooh, but there are DTs. There are Dark Templar. And they do get a lot done. Yeah, more DTs warping in. We need those scans, and alas, we are running out of scans. Scan energy is quite limited here for Password. Sorry, for DarkUnnamed. Password with the DC's nice EMP. Nice EMP does pop off. Now going into the main, going for the production. At the same time, everything else is on fire as well. More SCVs falling. Yes, DarkUnnamed does take over the main, going for the Dark Shrine. The Dark Shrine's going to be crucial here. Are there any DTs left? 3. There's 3 Dark Templar. They're here at the 3rd. And again, the orbitals are being hunted down. Limited scans. DarkUnnamed's going for the Great Migration. Oh, not quite yet. Floating back into the main. And again, there's 3 Dark Templar. That's all there is left here when it comes to DTs. Password still has a massive army to work with as well. The armies are comparable with each other. Bearing in mind, a lot of supply for Password is they're in probes. Like, a lot of the supply are in workers. So the armies are closer than the others would seem. Oh, DTs, they do head in. Do we have a scan? Up! Oh my god, nice EMP. Okay, EMP pops off. 0 Dark Templar remaining. Oh, the Colossus is almost out. Needs a couple more seconds. The Colossus is on the way. Up! Can he get it? Here come the Liberators. Yeah, the Colossus has arrived. Again, snipes the Robo once, just a couple of seconds too late. The Colossus is now out. And we're moving in. We're going for the Blink. Going for the Liberators. He gets 1. Gets 1. Liberator gets 2. Nova's is turned away. Liberators are exposed. Getting to 3, 4 Liberators. He stems in. Oh, no! And he will take the Novus to the base. Massive connections. Novus, they pop off. Liberators, they do reposition. It's still so close. As the army sims in, takes out the Colossus, takes out the Disruptors, 0 Disruptors remaining. Just a Gateway army. Has he done it? DarkUnnamed. He has double the army supply. He has a supply lead. Back at home, he's got a base, he's got some mining going on, he's fine. Long distance mining. Takes out another expansion. Now, Password, he has to rebuild the production. Right now, he has what? He has some gateways. He has some gateways. He can spend some of his money. He has a massive bank. He has to warp in and play it slow. Like right now, these bases are going down. Password, just play it slow. Warp in as much as you can while you can. Stalkers are coming from behind. They catch a Liberator. Oh. Stalkers are looking for a way in. Zealots, they have arrived. Again, the Password just has to be patient. Ooh, but this is not patience. Bleeds out, what, 3, 4 Stalkers. A lot of Stalkers do go down. Good positioning here with the Liberators. Again, the Draconics, he is more efficient with his army. Oh, but the surround. We can set up the surround. Takes on the pylon, depower some of the gateways. Stalkers are coming in, and Liberators are exposed. Yeah, Liberators are exposed. Here comes the dive. Yeah, blinks on 4, takes on 1 Liberator. There's 2 Liberators left. Down to 1. And Password, he's done it. Password, he has done it. Takes on every single Liberator. And with that, there's barely an army remaining here. I say that. Never mind. Draconics. He has no more libs. Can he deny the warp in? No, not quite. Doesn't deny the warp in, but good positioning nonetheless. This is still so close. 7 Marines, 7 Marauders up against the 3 Stalkers. This base falls, but remember, play it safe. Like, play it slow. Like, there's still 2 bases. There's still an economy here for Password. He just has to abandon this expansion and warp in. Just warp in and build up back at home. Just bank up the army. Just calm down, Password. Just warp in. He needs the gate. Like, he has 3k, 3k. Well, 3k, 2k. He has a bank, but he has to spend his money. He needs to warp in. And preserve the army as well. Build it up over time. Taking the gold base. There's a scan. Okay, there's 1 cannon. Sorry, 2 cannons. No shield batteries. Ooh. Yeah, no shield batteries to work with. He has only 5 gateways. He can warp in 5 units at a time. Again, the bio army is more efficient. Takes down a gateway, down to 4 gates. Here come the Zealots. Zealots do warp in. Going for the medevacs. Gets 1. 1 medevac goes down. Every unit counts. Every unit is precious here for Draconics. Takes down the pylon. Takes out more of the production. Oh. Here comes another warp in. Stalkers are coming from behind. They don't get the medevacs. Nice control by Draconics. It does pull away. Yeah, it does pull away in time. He does out-control the Stalkers. Draconics, he pops up. He depowers all these gateways. How many gateways left? Here, 4. Sorry, 5. Soon to be 5 gateways here, bottom right. So there's still a couple of gateways finishing up. So we can warp in 5 units at a time. There's a scan. Does spot the gateways. Does spot the base. Meanwhile, Password, more gateways here at the gold. Draconics, we can't waste our time here. We gotta keep going. He has to keep going. Has to keep moving. Back at home, he's muling his heart out. He has an economy. Oh. Also, we have the healing pad as well. Bear that in mind, if need be. Catches out a couple of Stalkers. Oh, medevacs are exposed. Does he get him? He gets 1. Yeah, he gets a medevac. Ooh, we're running out of steam. Draconics running into units here. Unfortunately, the healing pad does not help out the medevacs. That would be insane if it did. Speaking of, we do see Password making use of the healing pad instead. It does heal up. Well, despite that, bleeds out a couple of Stalkers. Yeah, bleeds out some Stalkers. Nice unit control. Draconics, he picks up. He juggles. He juggles the army. He's crazy. Bjorn, is that you? Let's go. Oh my god. He's crazy. Stalker's coming in from behind. He wants those medevacs. He wants them. He wants the medevacs. Oh, you have to get out of here. He gets 1. There's 2 medevacs left. 1 medevac remaining. Denies the warp. Oh, he does deny the warp in. Massive pickup. Denies the warp in. Depowers the gateways. But remember, there's still 5 gates left. 1 medevac remains, but we have 4 more in production. Oh, he's overstimmed. He's heavily overstimmed here. Oof. Also, he's rallying in. He's bleeding out units. Calm down. Calm down. Get into that healing pad. He has that Draconics. His production is a little bit... Yeah, it's a little bit chaotic. He has to go back. Scans the bottom right. Heal up. Ah, he's distracted by the army. He's racing back home. Oh, he can't afford to lose this. He cannot lose that CC. Brutal losses here. He still has another base up and running. and Password. He had a 2k, 3k bank. Look at the bank. Look at the minerals now. Now, Password, he does have left-hand side. He does have the base on the left. He does have the base on the right. He has 2 expansions. He has an economy. But Draconics, he has mules. There it is. He has mules. Mules, they're crazy in this kind of game state. And he's going to top up with the healing pad. Let's go. This healing pad is actually so crucial in this kind of game state. He fully heals up for the most part. Hallucinations, looking for bases. Now Draconics, he hasn't checked the left-hand side. He knows that there's a base there, but he hasn't rechecked. There we go. There's a scan. He has to pick and choose. Ooh, Password cannot fight head-on. Not like this. Sentry goes down. No force fields. There's one more sentry warping in. Does have some force fields available. He sims on forward. And Draconics, he's done it. What a crazy comeback. Draconics, remember, he had 6 Marine. No, sorry, it was 7. It was 6 or 7. It was 6. I think 6. It was 6 Marines, 6 Marauders, and 4 Metamax. And Password had a 3k, 2k bank. But again, GG gets called. And Draconics, he will take the series 2-1. He will advance on to the semi-finals. GG. Let's go. GG, well played. That was crazy, Papi. Oh my god. Again, Draconics, he went down to remember, it was 6 Marines, 6 Marauders, and 4 Metavacs. That was the army. That was the Terran army. That was 12 units, 12 fighting units against a Protoss player with 3k gas and 2k minerals, with 2 mining bases as well. At the time, Draconics didn't have any mining. He hadn't landed CCs yet. And Draconics, he just microed his heart out. Oh my god, with the drop play, lifting up the units, of course, juggling his army. Likewise, positioning his opponent as well. That was crazy. GG, well played. Draconics, he will take it. Very well done. Congratulations here. An insane series, an insane final game. GG. GG. Oh my god. He's crazy. Where is he? Where is he? Este Draconics. Gonna message him. Estás loco, papi. Estás loco. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god. That was insane. GG, well played again. Congratulations here to Draconics as he will advance on to the semi-finals. And we have our top 4. We have our top 4. Oh my god. GG. What a way to end it. Oh my god. GG, well played, and we can catch up. We can catch up on the bracket here. We can catch up on what's been going on. Oh my god. Meanwhile, shout out to Mason Jar 014 in the chat. GG, thank you so much for the gifted subs, for the 5 subs to the community. Oh my god, thank you so much for the support in the chat. Hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the StarCraft, hope you enjoy what we do here on the channel. Thank you so much. As we have our top 4. Winding it back, Mute, he started off the broadcast taking down DarkUnnamed 2-0, did advance on into the semi-finals. Likewise, Eon took down Tavito as well to advance on to the semis as they face off in those semi-finals. It's going to be next week. That is going to be next week. Oh my god. As Eon does advance on over Tavo. Meanwhile, we had Sagan versus Luciano. That was also a highlight series. If you missed out, if you only tuned in towards the end of the broadcast, I highly recommend checking out Sagan versus Luciano. It also had a very intense, very crazy finale to the series where it came down to a 1-base all-in against a clutch defense. It was also very close, very intense. In the end, it did go the way of Sagan, just barely over Luciano. And then, of course, we had Draconics over Password in a very, very intense, chaotic finals there. Chaotic game 3 that could have gone either way. Password had a massive advantage, had the bank, had the bases, but did not have the army. And Draconics, he brought it back. GG. GG, well played. Crazy, baby, crazy. And with that, we have our top 4. We have our top 4 players. We have Mute, Eon, Sagan, and Draconics. They are, of course, our top 4 players of the LATAM League. Oh, GG. GG, well played. And yeah, so we have confirmation that next week is going to be the semifinals. It's going to be Sagan, Draconics, Mute, and Eon. They're all going to be facing off next week as well. Let's go, let's go. I reached out to Draconics. I was like, yo, tienes confianza en tu inglés, papi? Do you feel confident coming in for an interview on the stream? And Draconics, he's saying that I can understand you, but I don't know if you'll understand me. He's like my Spanish. It's like my Spanish. Oh, good. So he's saying that that if we interviewed him, that he'd understand what we were saying, but he'd maybe have a hard time speaking. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Much love, though. Much love. GG, well played. Este Draconics. Again, he played well. Oh. But with that, congratulations, and oh. But yeah, thank you so much. GG, well played. And with that, we are going to be wrapping up. We're going to be wrapping up here for the morning. Again, only quarterfinals today, but we have the semifinals next week. And again, this was a banger broadcast as well. I'm sure there are a lot of people watching that maybe haven't seen these players before. Again, like we began, like the Ducklings, we started covering Latin American StarCraft, but over the years, you know, we've been covering less StarCraft. You know, the Latin American scene has died down a little bit. There are less Latin American tournaments, so we cover less of the region nowadays, which is a bit of a shame. But because of that, if you're a bit of a newer viewer of the CranKy Ducklings, you haven't seen these players before. But as you can see, when it comes to StarCraft, as long as the players are close in skill, and these are, of course, GMs, they're highly rated players in their own way, not quite at the level of your Serals or Marus, but when they face off, man, we got some quality games. We got some quality gameplay here. It was beautiful. It was a great showing here from our players, a beautiful broadcast. And if you missed that, I do recommend the VODs. Again, it was definitely a lot of fun. It was very entertaining matches, and we had a great time. GG, well played. And again, we'll be back next week for the semi-finals as well. Otherwise, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. And again, we'll be back next week with some more Latin American StarCraft. Otherwise, we can have a look at our schedule here. So this was our first broadcast of the day, and you can see here this evening we are going to be live with the podcast. That is our weekly podcast, our weekly talk show of all things StarCraft, and we have a lot to catch up on. As a reminder, last week we were busy. Last week we were completely buried in EWC, in Esports World Cup qualifier coverage, which meant that we didn't have time to host the podcast. This time we do. This week we do, and there's a lot to catch up on. Basically, we do host our show every week, but because we missed out on last week, there's going to be even more news to catch up on. Basically, we catch up on all the news in StarCraft, also all the tournament results as well, and all things related to StarCraft, like player signings, player signups, new tournaments rising up as well, and yeah, just all things StarCraft related, I should say. So again, that's going to be at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be at 8 p.m. AEST. That is going to be in 7 hours. 7 hours time. We're going to be live with the podcast. Likewise, we're also going to be live tomorrow with the StarCraft Evolution League. That's going to be Friday morning. We have Kung Fu Cup on Saturday. We have MSO on Saturday. We have a Sparkling Tuna Cup on Sunday, Viagra Cup, and we have some show matches as well. So we have plenty of StarCraft over the course of the week. This is a catch-up week. Because we were so busy with EWC, we have to play catch up with StarCraft Evolution, with Kung Fu Cup, with a bunch of show matches that we missed, with Latin American StarCraft League. Like it's basically like a big catch up week for us. GSL, of course, we covered GSL yesterday. If you 2 days ago, and if you see something that you like here, and if you cannot watch it live, check us out over on YouTube, !socials in the chat, and you'll get a link to our YouTube channel. You'll get a link to our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. It's all there available to you. And again, we do post when we go live, and we do upload on a daily basis, so plenty of content on YouTube. That is the place to be for VOD content. So again, if you can't watch live, check us out on YouTube. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And again, we'll be live in 7 hours with our next event with the podcast, going over all things StarCraft. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Something that I haven't done in quite some time because we've been so busy is I haven't had the luxury to ladder or to stream. We'll do so now. I'm going to be going live here on my personal channel to just ladder for a couple of hours, to play some StarCraft, to smudge on the ladder. Let's go, Bobby. It's time to smudge on the ladder, so do look forward to that. That is going to be the plan here for the next couple of hours before the podcast. That's going to be the plan. So if you're interested, you can tune in to my personal channel. I don't ladder here. We do reserve the CranKy Ducklings solely for casting content and for casting StarCraft, and for some team content as well, like talk shows or team games. We ladder on our personal channels instead. But yeah, gonna be heading over, gonna be going live there. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later on tonight for the podcast, or tomorrow for StarCraft Evolution League. Otherwise, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Ciao, baby, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.